Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone. And for those who are watching the recorded session, good morning and good evening. Para naman sa nanonood ng live, kami po ay nagagalak at kayo'y nakapanood ulit na umattend itong ating Sunday talk show na HR Cafe, Usapang Trabaho, Buhay at Iba pa. This is a talk show that is actually sponsored by Philippines HR Group, the largest FB-based HR group, no? At currently may nasa 312,000 na yata. I am Alan Cañete, one of the regular hosts of the Sunday talk show, and together with me today yung walang iba kundi yung ating isa sa mga paborito natin na mga celebrities ng HR. Walang iba kundi si Miss Tina Coang. Ma'am Tina, pasok.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome everyone to the HR Cafe, which is a weekly talk show that shares free knowledge to the local HR community. This project is spearheaded by Coach Darwin Rivers, a multi awarded HR executive with more than 20 years of progressive leadership and management experience working with top Fortune 500 multinational companies. He is the founder and CEO of the Philippine HR Group, a certified life coach, public speaker, and motivational speaker and HR consultant. Joining us is mentor Alan Cañete, an HR and L&D and OD practitioner with over 30 years of corporate and freelance consulting experience. He is the president and managing director of Creative Moves Business Outsourcing and is a board of director of the Philippine HR Group. We have mentor Ronadel Florentino, who is on leave this week, who has more than 20 years of HR practice working in different local and international companies. She is the president and CEO of the Uprush Social Geekers, public speaker and consultant, and LinkedIn Top 100 Filipinos to follow. And I am your mentor, Tina Coang, operations and HR leader with broad, local, and overseas experiences. I am a general manager of a retail company and an online content creator and blogger of TinaInManila.com. I'm also one of LinkedIn Top 100 Filipinos to follow. Welcome to the HR Cafe. We provide timely news and updates, impart knowledge and experience that are value adding and beneficial to you, our audience. We discuss problems, issues, and challenges and provides answers and resolutions on HR topics, provide free weekly training via our expert and seasoned guest resource speakers, discuss new technology tools and processes as well as industry best practices, bridge understanding between employers and employees, and provide inspiration and motivation that will help everyone go through their day. And with that, before everyone, we hope that you guys can actually leave your name, your company name, where you are in the Philippines or overseas, so we can give you a shout out at the show. We have Miss Mary Caballero, who is an early bird. Good afternoon, hi coaches, and hi back to you. And with that, everyone, mag-shout out kami later. So please leave your name, where you are in the Philippines or otherwise, so we can give you a shout out of the show. And for my favorite part of the HR Cafe, we have the wow quote of the week, which is the mind is a powerful tool. If you can master your thoughts, you can master your life. Coach Alan, anong tingin niyo po sa ating wow quote of the week?
Gustong-gusto tong quote na to, Ma'am Tina, kasi I always remember the saying that energy flows where attention goes. So if
Mm,
your mind is always um, preoccupied with something, most likely your energy will go to that something. Kaya
mm,
if it's positive, well, the outcome would be positive, like attracts like eh. Kung negative naman na madalas na laman ng mind mo, malamang you'll be attracting a lot of negative things in your life. The way you think and the thoughts you have can influence the way your life turns out. If you're able to manage your thoughts and keep them positive and focused on your goals, you are more likely to achieve the things you want in life. It's like saying, if you can control your thinking, you can change or you can take charge of your own destiny and make your life better in the process. Kaya, eto may example ako. Let's say you have a goal of
mm.
becoming a successful writer. But often you doubt yourself, you doubt your abilities, you doubt the way you write, you think. And when you think negatively about your work, you are the first one who criticizes your work. You know what? Because of that, you might procrastinate, avoid writing, and feel discouraged. Ikaw na mismo ang nagda-down sa sarili mo eh. And in this case, your thoughts are not helping you achieve your goal. Now, consider a different scenario. You work on controlling your thoughts and maintain a positive attitude. You remind yourself that even great writers had doubts at times, no? And you focus on your passion for writing with this mindset, you're more likely to persevere. Araw-araw nagsi-self-talk ka ng positive, I'm good, I'm great writer, I can make people I can influence people with my writing. These positive thoughts will more or less program your mind. With this mindset, will more likely to persevere in whatever challenges might encounter in your journey. So kaya para sa akin, over time, your positive thinking and determination can lead to success in whatever endeavor you are doing. So, yan, mga HR professionals, no? Kapag nag-negative thoughts tayo, self-doubt, it will prevail. It will affect our performance. You might even struggle in making decisions, no? And when you are resolving conflict, araw-araw pa naman, we're resolving conflict, araw-araw may mga stress, pag di mo na control yung takbo ng isip mo, baka you might give up so easily. But if you're able to control your thoughts, you become solution oriented, you can excel in your role, you might approach challenges as opportunities for growth, you can handle employee issues with empathy and fairness, and work effectively with colleagues, with boss, with staff members. So your positive mindset can create a better work environment and contribute to employee morale, and at the same time contribute towards whatever endeavor you are pursuing and become a success in that. What do you think, Ma'am Tina?
Well, I want to start by first greeting Miss Mary Caballero from 3J Plastic Words and Manufacturing Corporation in Valenzuela City, and also Blasilda Samonte Haranilla, who is watching from Pagsanhan, Laguna. For me, di ba we meet a lot of people, lalo na if you're in HR. From the time that
Mm,
an employee starts in your company, you meet them up until their very end. And I think this type of job is a very good place to study about human nature. I have realized that you can determine whether this person will be successful within the first 30 minutes that you meet that person. Kayo usually, 'di ba, when you're dating a person, ilang dates pa kayo? You give, if probationary employee, bibigyan mo pa ng 6 months to determine if this person is the right person for you. My challenge is to many HRs is to learn how to determine whether this person is a go or a no go, is will be successful or not from the first hour or the first 30 minutes that you meet him. Sabi mo, Ma'am Tina, pwede ba yun? Kasi parang napakabilis naman mag-judge, diba? How can you determine if the person's gonna be successful within the first 30 minutes of meeting that person? And I think like this is where your listening has to come in. You listen to how they think. When you talk to a person and they introduce themselves to you and they tell you about themselves, you look at how their mind works. I have come to realize that successful people do have certain mindsets. As what Alan has said, number one, there is what you call a positive mindset and a negative mindset. May tao talaga, pag na-meet mo, parang gumuguho ang mundo. Lahat malas, lahat pangit, mainit, mahirap, mapapawisan ka. Pag kinausap mo siya, parang nade-drain yung energy mo. Kasi lahat ng problema niya, magsasuggest ka ng solusyon. Pero lahat ng solusyon mo, may problema. So walang solusyon yung problema niya. You know? It's very draining. And then there's
Oo.
some people talaga pag kinausap mo, kahit na wala na silang pagkain, na wala na ng trabaho, nahirapan na ng whatever, parang akala mo, ang ganda, parang nanalo ng loto. Napaka-positive
Mm.
nila.
Mm.
It's still okay because I'm still healthy. And then, my husband loves me, my wife loves me, my kids are healthy. Parang gusto mong sakalin minsan na parang ang dami mo ng problema, pero bakit yung mind mo napaka-positive pa rin? Right? I think
Oo.
having a strong positive mindset is essential, especially if you're working in the Philippines. Because bad things happen all the time in the Philippines. Diba? Hindi mo alam, pag kunyari, umulan lang, bumagyo lang, bigla nang bumaha. Like bad things happen all
Mm.
the time. And many things are beyond what we control, right? Sometimes
Mm.
even if you work so hard, you still don't get the promotion. The challenge is, how will you react to it? You cannot
Yun.
change the situation, but you can change the way you think about things and
You
how you react
respond.
to it. Kasi
Mm.
some people, galit, defensive. Ay nako, ang pangit ng boss ko kasi hindi ako binigyan ng promotion. I find that people who take more accountability for their situation are more successful. Because a step towards improving your situation is in accepting that change has to come from you. Ulitin ko ha. One way for you to improve your situation, no matter what it might be, is realizing that the change must come from you. So it doesn't matter if nagbe-break up ka ng boyfriend mo or ng girlfriend mo. You have to embody that change. What's my problem? How can I change my situation? And when you actually look at it in a very self accountable way, you have that power to change your direction for the
Mm.
better. But if you're always trying to blame somebody else, kasi siya niloko niya ako, kasi malas ako sa pag-ibig, kasi, then it's never your fault. It's always somebody else's fault. And that leads to a lifelong adventure of bitterness. Lahat ng tao may mali. Sila na talaga. Ikaw malinis. If you want to be successful in life, you change your mindset. Number one, be positive. And number two, be accountable for your life. Pinili mo yan. Pag pinili mo yan, pwede mo rin siyang palitan.
Yun.
And when that happens, you can master your life. That's why ayokong mag-judge ng taong pangit, ng taong maliit, taong whatever, 'di ba? Like walang trabaho. You don't judge people based on their current situation. You judge people based on how they think and how they carve their reality. Because a poor people can become rich. A person who is unhealthy can be healthy. A person who is a rank and file can be the president of the company. It's just a matter of how they change the way they think. Right? So my challenge to you guys is, how will you change the way you view your life? Kasi pinili mo yan, so ikaw din, kaya mo rin siyang palitan. Alright? So we are greeting Nasir Yusuf Muhammad, who is watching from Somalia. Oh, ang galing, di ba? Umabot pa tayo ng Somalia. And somebody is watching from Santa Rosa, Laguna. Now, for our HR question of the week, can an employer cancel or disapprove your vacation leave? Sir Alan.
Okay. This question is uh, really something that many employees are asking, no, kasi ang dami nang
Burn na eh.
nakaka-experience na
Burn na.
why is it why is it that my boss is not approving my leave? It's my right naman. Well, ganito yan, ano? Employees, of course, have the right to take vacation leaves. And employers, in principle, should not cancel or disapprove an employee's request for vacation leave specifically or especially without a valid reason. However, employers can disapprove a request for VL, for vacation leave, but it should be based on justifiable and reasonable grounds. Nakasulat naman yan sa maraming articles, mababasa nyo. But ito yung reason, no? Some legitimate reasons for disapproving VL might include, unang-una, operational necessity. If the employee's absence during the requested period would disrupt the normal operations, of course, the boss will disapprove. Okay? Because the business will be affected when the employee is absent. The employer can disapprove the leave in that case. Another reason, lack of replacement. If there is no suitable replacement for the employee during their absence, during her absence, the employer can deny the leave request. And number three, prior commitments, meaning if the requested VL or vacation period conflicts with prior commitments, such as a company-wide event or peak business season. Um, Alam nyo na, merong company opportunity for big sales, for example, and the employer may, in that case, disapprove the leave. So, pasensya na. Talagang, yun talaga eh. That's the nature of your business. Kapag nagkulang ng isa, mapipila yung operations. Okay? However, employers are generally encouraged to work with their employees to find a mutually acceptable arrangement. Pag-usapan. Employers and employees can discuss alternative dates for the vacation leave or possibly explore other solutions to address the operational needs of the business. So it's important for employers to be aware of and comply with the labor laws and regulations regarding VL to avoid disputes and legal issues. Employees have the right, no? Employees have rights to take their entitled leaves, and any denial should be reasonable and in accordance with law. Okay? If an employer unreasonably denies VL, this might lead to some problems, no? Some legal liabilities. Kaya kailangan pag-usapan din, no? Mahirap din kung unreasonable yung pagkaka-disapprove ng leave. Eh, wala namang palang event, meron namang pwedeng pumalit, anong dahilan? So, walang masabi, pwedeng magka-problema tayo dyan. Okay? Remember, operational necessity, lack of replacement, and there is an event na scheduled na. It's a prior commitment of the company that everybody should be there. Yun ang tatlong reason na pwede kang ma-deny with your request for leave. What do you think, Ma'am Tina?
There's a concept of bala in the Philippines, right? Yung cash advance, right?
Yeah.
And then it's very common for many employees to ask for beyond the SSS and pag-ibig loan. Many employees try to get a cash advance. Lalo na if you're in manufacturing company or
Yung ba yung
like a
bumabale?
bale.
Yun
Yeah,
ba yan?
yung
Ayun.
bale. Diba pag kunyari, nagbale ka kasi meron kang quote-unquote emergency.
Mm-mm.
Tapos expect mo papayag yung employer mo. Tapos dininay ka.
Mm-mm.
'Di ba? Anong first reaction mo? Siyempre magagalit ka. Kasi
Tatampo,
hindi ka
masisira
maghihingi
moral.
pag hindi mo kailangan. 'Di
Mm-mm.
ba? So
Mm-mm.
umaasa ka sa employer mo na pagbigyan ka.
Mm-mm.
So, but the problem is, cash advance and bale are not mandated by law. They're not
Yun.
required. So,
Mm-mm.
even if the company provides you with one, that's great. But if the company denies your request, that's still legal. So the
Mm.
question is, HR question of the week, could an employer cancel or disapprove your vacation leave? The only thing mandated by law is the 5 day service incentive leave
SIL.
that you earn after your first year anniversary. So like for example, nag-start
Correct.
ka ng October 22. So pagdating ng October 22, 2024, meron kang 5 days of leave. Now,
Mm-mm.
some companies offer more than that. Some people offer 7 days. Some of people offer 15 days. Some people are so generous, you know? Like, pwede kang mag-leave kailan mo kailangan. That's
Mm-mm.
what you call management prerogative. Regalo ng company sa'yo as a benefit for working for them. But that's not
Mm-mm.
mandated by law unless it is explicitly written on your contract. 'Di ba? Na eto talaga yung leave mo and it is by right. Because it's still
Yung
something that the company gives you as grasya, right? So if
privilege.
you ask for a vacation leave, the company for its business reasons has the right to disapprove or cancel your vacation leave even if nakapag-book na kayo ng ticket.
Yun ang masakit.
Ang sakit, 'di ba? nag Nag-file ka ng leave, hindi ka nag-follow up, tapos din-approve ng employer mo, tampo ka kasi lahat na buong company mo magre-reunion kayo, tas ikaw lang matitira kasi hindi ka makaalis.
Mm.
Is it legal? Yes. Is it
Yes.
bad trip? Yes.
Bad trip.
'Di ba? Bad trip, 'di ba? But is it doleable? No.
Ay, hindi.
Right? Hindi siya
Hindi.
illegal. Now, is it something that would spur you to resign?
Yun ang
Possibly.
maging problema.
Magre-resign na lang ako.
Mm.
If you
Tampo eh.
resign, can the employer stop you? Of course not. Basta
Should not.
mag-render ka ng at least 30 days.
Oo.
But is it a must that the employer approve your leave? No. If
No.
they say no,
Option.
it's a no. Right?
Prerogative.
Prerogative nila yun. Ang only thing na malalaro mo lang talaga is yung service incentive leave. And
SIL.
possibly, yung SIL kasi nun is cash convertible. That's about it.
Yes.
But beyond that, yung papayag, hindi papayag, that's not your call eh. That's your employer's call. And if you don't like their call, you can always choose to move to another employer. And I'm
Ang mali
telling you,
siguro ni ano dito ni employee before siya na bumili ng ticket, kunyari, no?
dapat nagpaalam. 'Di ba?
Oo.
Dapat nagpaalam. Dapat may approval. Kasi iba ang
Exactly.
paalam sa approval. Kasi tayo,
Exactly.
'di ba? Sinabi ko na kay boss eh. Pumayag ba? Sinabi
Yun.
is different from pumayag, inapprove. At kung inapprove niya, may proof ka ba, 'di ba? Kasi kung
Yes.
wala, I mean, if the vacation leave is so important to you, make sure you secure approval. Make sure you ask ahead of time and make sure it's done in a way that your company is ready. Kasi may ibang tao hindi pa nga tapos ng trabaho, alis na ng bakasyon. Bad trip din 'yun. There are
Oo.
many ways to get that vacation leave. People think it is the right. It is a benefit. It's not a right. Unless it's a service incentive leave. So, can an
Yun
employer
ang
cancel
tutukoy
or
natin.
disapprove?
The
They can.
SIL is a right.
Is a
Correct.
right. 'Di ba? The other
Mm.
vacation leaves are a benefit, right?
Privilege yun eh.
Privilege. Yeah, it's like having
Binigay
a
lang sa'yo.
passport. Hindi ibig
Correct.
sabihin Pilipino ka, kailangan ka bigyan ng gobyerno ng passport. No matter what, it's still a privilege, not a mandated right. Ah, diba? So with
Correct.
that, sana may natutunan kayo. Na ito, excited yung mga tao. DOLE issued Labor Advisory Number 4, Series of 2023 that shows that October 30, November 1 and 2 are special non-working days. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Pag pumasok, may dagdag bayad. Pag hindi pumasok, walang bayad. Ulitin natin ha, kasi a lot of people
Exactly.
think November 1 is a regular holiday. It's not. If pumasok po ang empleyado on October 30, November 1, or November 2, may dagdag po siyang bayad ng 30% on the basic wage for the first 8 hours. Pag hindi siya pumasok, walang dagdag bayad. Wala tong
Mm.
before and after, okay? Now, ang regular holiday is November 27, which is Bonifacio Day. Yun yung pag pumasok, 200%. Pag hindi
Mm.
pumasok, may bayad pa rin if pumasok ka the day before. So, please plan
Yun.
accordingly. Kasi a lot of people, hindi kasi ako pinapasok ng employer ko eh. Meron ba akong holiday pay? Wala. Kasi hindi ka nga pumasok. Hindi siya katulad ng regular holidays na may dagdag bayad. Gets? Know the
Mm.
difference. So ngayon, November 27, again, November 27 is the regular holiday. However, November 30 is an ordinary working day. All right? Make sure, bilugan mo yung November 27 kasi siya lang talaga yung may dagdag bayad ng 200%. Pag pumasok ka, 100 pag hindi ka pumasok. Alright? Next one. The President of the Philippines also made Proclamation number 368 declaring the regular holidays and special non-working holidays for the year of 2024. October pa lang, atat na tayo. Alam na natin ang mga holidays ng next year para makapagplano na tayo sa vacation. Pero, pag magbabakasyon kayo, pakipaalam na ngayon sa boss ninyo yung mga dates of vacation niyo para siguradong matutupad ang vacation
Yun.
leave request ninyo. Kasi bad trip
Exactly.
din pag kunyari naunahan ka ng teammate mo. Pag lahat ng tao magbabakasyon, ikaw nahiya, hindi ka nagsabi. Tapos ikaw, pag request mo, sabi mo, bakit sila in-approve? Bakit ako hindi? Eh, late ka kasi mag-inform eh. You know what I mean? Kailangan may taong
Mm.
matitira pa rin kahit nagbabakasyon. So if you really
Exactly.
want to take that vacation, magpaalam na kayo ngayon bago kayong mag-book. Secure that approval before you book para walang away between you and your employer.
Mm.
Lastly, SSS. Do you know that SSS provides free training on their SSSL portal, which you can register by scanning this QR code or typing bit.ly/exsssel underline portal. It's also available in the SSS mobile app. Ang mga available modules niya ay mga sickness benefit, maternity benefit, unemployment benefit, disability benefit, salary loan, pension loan program, all the other benefits that you would require. Sa lahat ng mga bagong HR na gustong matuto ng HR, eto munang unahin ninyo kasi for sure 1,000%. Lahat ng empleyado gustong-gustong malaman kung paano makuha ang benefits nila. So you need
Mm.
to know what makes them qualified and what does not. Cool? Alright. Next, Sir Alan.
Mm. Pag-ibig. Okay, ano po ba ang bago sa pag-ibig ngayon? Well, this is actually the multi-purpose loan na meron silang in-encourage syempre yung lahat na mag-avail itong multi-purpose loan, no? Pag-ibig, and just go to virtual pag-ibig website or get the virtual pag-ibig mobile app for 24/7 service. So simpleng requirements lang kailangan para sa pag-apply ng pag-ibig multi-purpose loan. I-ready mo lang ang mga requirements tulad ng multi-purpose loan application form, one valid ID, proof of income, pag-ibig loyalty card plus or land bank cash card. At mabilis lang daw yun. No? So pag in-apply mo, several days lang na may enjoy mo na yung loan. At ang contact numbers, ayan po, naka-display sa ating screen. 8, dial 028-724-4244 and their email address and andyan din yung kanilang website. At meron pa, sa ito pong pag-member ka ng Pag-ibig Plus, you'll also be able to avail of the EK 15% and 5% discount. EK, Enchanted Kingdom, no? Kaya EK Sighting, exciting at exclusive. May discounts on attractions and restaurants para sa may Pag-ibig loyalty card at loyalty card plus. Enjoy a 15% discount on a regular day pass at Enchanted Kingdom plus 5% discount on Amazon Grill and lunchtime. Simply present your Pag-ibig loyalty card or Pag-ibig loyalty card plus. Terms and conditions apply. So contact them through their yung mga numbers na yan at kanilang email address, and you can learn more about this in their website. All right. Also, sa Pag-ibig pa rin, more than 3 million downloads na. Kapag dinownload mo itong virtual Pag-ibig mobile app, marami kang may enjoy kasi mas madali ma-access ang iyong Pag-ibig account, makita ang iyong savings at madaling mag-apply for loans. So we bring you, sabi ni Pag-ibig, we bring you pag-ibig you deserve kahit saan. Wow, mahal na mahal tayo ng pag-ibig, di ba? So, yung pag-ibig nga raw ay at your fingertips. So download their app in your phone today. All right. Sa PhilHealth naman, ano ba sinasabi ng PhilHealth? Meron po silang advisory. Meron pong exemptions in the imposition of interest for delayed payments for employers. Okay? So, maraming detalye ito, no? And basta ang pinakamaganda rito ay may enjoy po ng employers ang exemption na ito in view of the current system issues affecting the various and track transactions for registration and updating of information. All employers are reminded of the existing policies on exemptions in the imposition of interest for delayed payments due to internal system issues, which include the following circumstances. Hindi ko nababasahin lahat, konti lang. Number one, newly hired employees within the month of September 2023 with no or invalid PhilHealth identification number. Pangalawa, newly registered employers who started operations in September 23 but unable to register for an electronic premium remittance system or EPRS account. Okay? Number three, existing users of the EPRS with expired or invalid passwords. Okay? And number four, pending requests, pending requests for password resetting in the online facility of their accredited collection agent or ACA. And lastly, pending requests for additional folders in the grouping module. Yun. So, mga detalye po ay makikita nyo sa kanilang website at ito po ay ini-email din. Check your email kasi I'm sure pinadalhan na rin kayo ng advisory ng PhilHealth. Okay? At sabi rin ng PhilHealth, huwag basta buksan ang mga natatanggap na email. Nako, ang daming scam ngayon. Pati ito pinasok na ng mga scammers. Itong yung mga email natin, minsan mga nagde-text. So another advisory from PhilHealth, para masigurong ligtas ang iyong impormasyon, gawin ang mga sumusunod. Unang-una, huwag sasagutin or ang mga kahina-hinalang tawag o text message. So, at lalo na kung galing sa mga hindi mo kakilalang sender, no? Dahil malamang yan, these people are just trying to scam you. Nagpapanggap yan ng mga taga-PhilHealth. Nagpapakilala sila mga taga-PhilHealth, tapos pagsasamantalahan yung iyong pagsasamantalayan sa iyong ignorance of this particular advisory at manghihingi yan ng mga personal information o detalye ng iyong bank accounts. Kaya delikado. At pag tayo ay medyo gullible, nako, sa Tagalog, uto-uto, madadali ka dyan. You practice and or exercise critical thinking. Huwag po tayo magpapadala sa mga basta-basta na lang nag-email. Kaya ako, Ma'am Tina, talagang pag may nag-email na hindi ko kilala, block agad eh. Kahit mga phone calls, pa hindi kita kilala, kung ano yung mga hinihingi mo, block agad yan. Para hindi na sila makatawag ulit. Okay? Huwag i-click ang mga hindi siguradong link. Isa pa yan, no? Kasi lalo na ngayon, a lot of strategies, a lot of tactics are being implemented by these scammers. Sa next slide yan, Ma'am Tina, baka kayo mabiktima. Lalo na ang mga link mula sa mga email na hindi mo kilala ang sender o sa mga website na iyong binisita. Delikado yan. Kasi may marami nagpapanggap. Yung iba pa nga, kinokopya pati yung logo ng isang bangko, tapos nagpapanggap na sila raw yung representative o customer service ng bank ngayon. Pag-click mo ng link, ayun na, dali ka na. I-follow ang mga official na social media accounts ng PhilHealth para sa mga bago at tamang impormasyon at huwag dun sa mga kahina-hinalang nagpapanggap na PhilHealth. Alright? Here's another one. Alam nyo ba that we have partnered with Infinite Care? Ito po yung isang um, grupo, isang company that can help HR community, especially those who are experiencing a lot of stress in their job. Mga HR practitioners na nagtatanong, kami po ay nahihirapan na, we have a lot of mental health issues already, wala kaming makausap, nagkakaproblema kami. Well, the good news is, meron na po. Infinite Care, partner of PHRG, supports the HR community. This unique partnership support the well-being of the professionals who look after the nation's employees. Okay? Ano bang ginagawa ng Infinite Care? Okay. Members ng ating Philippines HR group can call them, no? And just download the app and you can contact these people under Infinite Care for mental health support. Their mental health support platform um, gives you access to personalized self-care tools and resources, a chat helpline, and a virtual session, no? Mga virtual sessions with licensed counselors, psychologists, and coaches. Yan ang Infinite Care. Kaya meron ka nang makakausap. Huwag ka nang matatakot, huwag ka nang mahihiya because these people really, really, really care. Okay? And finally, eto po, meron tayong ina-announce pa rin namin na ang PHRG ay patuloy na nag-offer ng very, very affordable training for our members. Dito ay tinatawag naming 2-day HR Core Training Program. And this is the batch 3 to be held here in Manila. This is the leadership, empowerment, accountability, and diversity. Okay? Topics, total rewards, talent acquisition, labor relations, learning, and OD. So, learning investment, nandiyan po. Kayang-kaya nyo yan at kayang-kaya ng mga companies nyo. And it's a good investment para po sa karagdagang kaalaman nating mga HR practitioners. And this will be held on November 18 and 19 of the current year. And that's 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sa Discovery Suites, Manila, right at the heart of Ortigas Center, Pasig City. Okay, for more information, um, please contact our numbers. That's 0905-422-9192 sa Globe and 0918-985-5545 sa Smart. Okay? Or you can contact us through our Facebook group and our email address, the Philippines HR Group at gmail.com. That's our leadership, empowerment, accountability, and diversity. All right. So, Ma'am Tina, back to you.
If you have any questions, please post at the main page of the Philippine HR Group on our Facebook page. You can also join our Facebook group page and LinkedIn group page at the Philippine HR Group. You can also like our Facebook page, the HR Cafe, Usapang Trabaho, Buhay at Iba pa. And for any sponsorship, you can email darwinrivers@yahoo.com or message us at the HR Cafe Trabaho, Buhay at Iba pang page. And without further ado, we do have our main guest expert for this week. The topic is by Mr. Ken-ken Somera, how to apply NLP in the workplace. Now, I know Ken for quite a while because he is an internationally certified conversational hypnotherapist by Mind Valley, neuro-linguistic programming practitioner, sales and persuasion coach and trainer, and has been applying NLP and hypnosis since 2010. Ken is often consulted with his understanding on sales and persuasion, neuro linguistic programming, leadership and coaching, hypnotic language patterns, and personality development in hypnotherapy. He has worked closely in online communities such as NLP and Hypnosis Philippines, online freelancers, and HR Shouts and Whispers. He has a training company, NLP and Hypnosis Academy and Arriva Academy. Currently, he is focused on helping his clients believe more on themselves with his podcast, Self Talk with Ken-ken Somera. So his saying is, we make ourselves our own enemies sometimes. Why not make yourselves our best ally and see how things may change positively? So, without further ado, let us welcome Sir Ken. Sir Ken-ken Somera, NLP coach, talking about how to apply NLP in the workplace.
Ayun, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Siyempre, Alan and Tina, magandang hapon.
Yes,
Gandang hapon,
live.
sir.
Opo, dun muna kami sa likod. Sa mga everyone, okay? We'll give Ken the floor to present how to apply NLP in the workplace. And then after that, kung may tanong po kayo, please leave your questions on the comment box. And after the presentation, we'll read it after his presentation. All right? Sige po, kita kits, Ken.
Alright. Siyempre, start na tayo. Ang topic natin today is how to apply NLP in the workplace. And short introduction lang din ulit what I have done for the past years. So, I've been mainly centering myself with persuasion and neuro-linguistic programming. Pero syempre, on the side, as I got certified as a hypnotherapist, I do also deep coaching and therapy. Ayan. Pero here's some of the things or the workshops that I've done before. Pero, ayan. Ano nga ba ang isang hypnotherapist? Ayan. I-explain muna natin yan bago tayo pumunta dun sa mga main topics natin, which is neuro-linguistic programming. Gusto natin lumalim din dito. I'll do my best to explain how neuro-linguistic programming works and how you could apply it sa office ninyo. Alright? So, as a hypnotherapist, I get to use hypnosis, alright, to actually work with the subconscious mind. Na pag-usapan kanina yung sa subconscious programming, di ba? Na nasabi yan, we can install and uninstall things inside our head. So, yan yung ginagawa natin. And recently, ito yung mga, yan. Ito yung mga certificates that I've finished through the years. Yan, hypnotherapist, and sa NLP. And ito yung recent with Mind Valley. I got trained directly kay Paul McKenna, who's the top hypnotherapist ngayong dito sa mundo ngayon. Alright, so let's start. Ano nga ba ang NLP? Okay. So, personally, I'll give my explanation for this one. NLP for me is a process of excellence. Ibig sabihin ito, it's a process of what works. So, tinitignan lang natin dito, ano ba yung gumagana na? Right? We understand it, we break it down, create processes, create techniques para magamit natin siya. Okay? So, for example, I want to be a public speaker. Right? So, meron ng mga magagaling ng public speaker na nandyan na eh. Tama? So, if you were to list down the top 3 public speakers na sobrang nakikita mo na magaling, write it down. Bakit ba sila magaling para sa'yo? Ano yung mga specific body language na ginagamit nila? Ano yung mga specific na words na ginagamit nila? Teka lang, ano ba yung suot nila? If I get to understand the preparation that they're doing before their talk, and then I get to use it and apply it sa sarili kong talk, magaling na rin ba ako? Tama. So think about it that way. So, neuro-linguistic programming, yan. If you search it sa internet, ito yung mga makukuha natin ng mga mga explanation, no? Neuro, usually yan, neurology, senses, yan. Linguistic, of course, are words which shape our reality. And programming, yun nga sinasabi ko, behavior. Okay? So, basahin ko lang to. NLP is based on the idea that our thoughts, language, and behavior are interconnected, and that by changing one of these elements, we can influence ourselves and others. Diba? There's this like quote from a couple of friends, and nakikita ko rin online. Sabi nga nila, parang we're just one thought away to actually the positive changes that we want in our lives. Right? So, minsan yung challenge is yung paghanap nung, di ba, nung thought na yon, and then behavior na yon, or nung habit na yon that could actually help us position ourselves di ba, to success. Right? So, sa akin, ito yung sinabi ko dito. It is a mind technology. I do see hypnosis and like neuro-linguistic programming as tools. Okay? Ang dami pang approaches dyan. Some also use spirituality as an approach to actually work with people. Pero sa akin, ang tinitingnan kong modality with working with people is ito, neuro-linguistic programming for coaching, for therapy, and yun nga, yung hypnosis. Yan. Okay, so a little bit of history. I've started being fascinated with the craft, yung NLP, around 2009. Na-introduce ako dito by, actually, I attended a workshop, okay, online. And nabanggit lang yan. Parang you could program your mind, you could create behaviors that could work for you. Sabi ko, teka lang, masyado akong mahiyain. I'm still an introvert, diba? Pero, di ba, sa mundong ginagalawan ko, I have to be outgoing. I have to connect with a lot of people. I have to network, right? So, ano yung mga behaviors na kailangan kong matutunan or i-work on sa sarili ko so that I could actually do that, right? So, yun yung mga ginawa ko. One of the key concepts of neuro-linguistic programming is what we call modeling. So, with modeling, I had to also change a certain belief. Kasi if we say, ito malalim na topic to, introvert, extrovert, yan. Exciting yan. Pero if we look at it, a lot of people have boxed themselves with the idea that I'm an introvert, and you've boxed yourself with the associations or the definition of what an introvert is. So if you get to check with like online what an introvert is, you'd see a lot of definitions connected to it, right? And if you believe it 100%, then you are already that. Tama? Okay? So, ang nangyayari dito is I had to unlearn some stuff. Teka lang, it does not mean, yun dito ako nagsimula. It does not mean na introvert mahiyain. Tama? When I got to change the definition, right, a lot of things changed inside my head's programming also. Ngayon, ang definition na nag-align sa akin ngayon is not mahiyain already for introvert and extrovert. Mahiyain, outgoing. No. It's not that anymore. Alright? Supporting, na lang siya, definitions. But sa akin ngayon, I just see it as an introvert recharges more by themselves, energy, and an extrovert easily charges with other people. So ngayon, na-release ko na sa sarili ko yung construct na introvert ako. Introvert pa rin naman ako eh. I love being just alone, di ba? Tahimik lang ako. Yeah? But when I got to change the definition, di ba? How I saw it, how I interact with people, changed also. Gets ba? So, again, programming, ito yung pinag-uusapan natin dito. So, there are lots of words that we associate ourselves with right now. So, one of the concepts that I did was what we call reframing. Right? Mamaya, sige, I'll do my best to go deeper with these tools. Pero sige, habang nandito na ako sa moment, i-explain ko na rin. Reframing is simply like this. I mean, nagda-drive ka sa EDSA, di ba? Usually, di ba? Kitgitan, di ba? Sa mga nagda-drive dyan, di ba? Biglang kinat, di ba? Minsan sa utak mo, nagmumura ka na talaga eh. Blah, 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 di ba? Hassle, di ba? Kinat ka ng ganun. But here's the thing. If you get to change how you saw it inside your head, like, teka lang, baka nagmamadali talaga siya, baka may emergency, or baka masakit na yung tiyan niya, it changes how you react. Tama ba? So, same thing with ang init. I think, nabanggit din I think narinig ko yan, nabanggit ni Tina kanina, yung ang init, and then you shift it to ang warm, it changes how your body reacts to it. Sobrang init ngayon. Sobra, tama? Init. Your body reacts to it. Sobrang init talaga. Teka lang, grabe, ang humid ngayon. It changes. Di ba? The way you feel it. Ang warm ngayon, changes. Tama? So, again, this is some of the ways or uses on how we get to work with it. Right? Iba rin yung term na sinasabi natin na sa work, di ba? Bobo naman ito, tanga-tanga mo. Right? This, you get to see it. So if you get to change the words, maybe they could actually understand it or perceive it differently also. So, dito natin mapapansin yung importance ng words. Highlighted natin yan sa Neuro-linguistic programming. Okay? So, let's move on. This slide is actually homage to the people who actually founded Neuro-linguistic programming. I'm more aligned with Dr. Richard Bandler's approach. Okay? Iba kasi, Neuro-linguistic programming is so free. Okay? Parang meron kang freedom to actually do anything with Neuro-linguistic programming. That's why when I get to define Neuro-linguistic programming and you get to ask different practitioners of what Neuro-linguistic programming is, you would probably get different explanations on what is Neuro-linguistic programming. Bakit? Kasi iba-iba na yung nagtuturo nito. In its purest form, iba na yung before it meant this, right? Pero NLP is based on curiosity. It changes, meron siyang freedom. So in time, 'di ba? A lot of people have like saw it differently already. NLP could work like this. NLP could be like this. So ngayon, pag naririnig mo siya from different trainers, iba-iba talaga yung explanation nila on how it is because they have already adjusted the approach to fit themselves, to fit their reality. Okay? So ngayon, the same with me. When I do my coaching, it's already a mix of like NLP, a mix of conversational hypnosis and other stuff that I've learned through sa mga different coaches, trainers, and therapists. Okay? So, pero, ang tawag ko pa rin doon, NLP. Kasi, ayun na nga applied na siya Alright? So, ayan. Si Dr. Richard Bandler, I saw him na nakafocus siya sa, linguistics, storytelling. Ayan, ganun ko nakikita yung approach niya. Kay John Grinder naman, as I saw his approach, I saw it more on process. Okay? Behavior change, ang ganda nung approach ni John Grinder. Kay Frank Puselic, hindi pa ako masyado lumalalim kay Frank. So, yun dun muna ako. Alright? And sino ba yung inaral nila? Paano ba nabuo tong Neuro-linguistic programming? So, they studied, mga therapists. Sila Virginia Satir, Fritz Perls, and, of course, Milton Ericson. So, Milton Ericson, we mostly, karamihan ng mga practitioners, we believe that this guy is actually the best best hypnotist of all time. Bakit? Dito nabuo yung mga language patterns na ginagamit ng mga conversational hypnotist, ng mga mostly NLP practitioners. So, there's a part of like, if you study NLP or with a master practitioner program or NLP practitioners, tinuturo talaga yung Milton models. So, yun yung tinatawag doon, Milton models. Ini-explain nila doon yung mga specific words that you could use, mga patterns, and how you could actually use these words to form questions. Okay? So, to program behavior. Right? So, simple lang I mean, if you get to work with, sige, bago tayo pumunta dito sa mindsets, no? If you get to work with specific words, you could form a very, very good sentence. Tama? And if you get to use, like, yun nga, mga hypnotic words that actually could work with attention more, you could actually control the mind on where it goes. So, a simple question like, when was the last time you went to Boracay? Could instantly pull your head back to the past. When was the last time? So you're now accessing, teka lang, kailan ba? You're now accessing a state. You're now accessing a memory, right? When was the last time? It's the same thing with the usual interview question. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? And now you are future pacing yourself into like 5 years from now, looking at yourself, how you look, right? So again, these simple words, just if used correctly, you'd get a lot of information, right? So NLP has been used sa how do how do I stop this share screen? Okay, wait lang figure it out. Ayun. Thank you. Yan. O, para mag-adlib muna ako. Adlib muna. So, maraming uses ang neuro-linguistic programming kasi. And isa dito sa pag-uusapan natin and how it's used in the workplace. Right? So, I'll be covering a couple of like, this is what we call presuppositions. NLP presuppositions. But siguro i-reframe ko na lang siya as NLP mindsets. I've listed some down which has really worked for me. Okay? Mamaya, daanan natin a little bit of learning those words to actually create better questions na pwede nyo gamitin sa mga coaching ninyo, like sa mga leaders na nakikinig dito, ang laking bagay. Dahil yun nga yung quote na sinasabi ko dito eh. If you get to ask better questions, you get better answers. Bobong tanong, bobong sagot. Diba? Simple lang. Right? Minsan, you always ask like close-ended questions that you just get a yes and a no, but you could ask an open-ended question and really get information and more details, di ba? That you could actually work on to get better information you could adapt with. All right. So with NLP mindsets, here's one of the first thing na gusto ko i-share. There's no failure, only feedback. So as an NLP practitioner, itong mga mindsets na to, siguro ito yung medyo common sa amin lahat. We get to like, it is ingrained with us. Ito, when we start training with neuro-linguistic programming, ito yung usual na simula na kailangan mong intindihin. Na parang, nga, no? There's no failure, only feedback. Nagkamali ako. Teka lang, what can I learn from this? Okay, list down ko kaya, okay, bakit ba ako nagkamali in the first place? Oversight. Teka lang. Sounds like an excuse. Wait lang. Ba't ba ako nagkamali? Ano yung mga factors kung bakit ako nagkamali? Okay, could if I get to ask a person na nakakita nung pagkakamali ko, teka lang, I've made a mistake with that one and I acknowledge it. Pero teka lang, is there any feedback that you could give me so that I could get to improve on this? And you asking that question and you hearing feedback, not, di mo iba yung criticism apektado ka, criticism. Di ba? You connected emotion to it and it turned into a criticism. Pero if you look at it differently and you see it as feedback, okay. So that's how you think. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Meron kang choice Okay? I-accept ng ganun na lang yon, or you get to see it as, teka lang, I could improve on this. I do. If that's something bad for the people around me, teka lang, I could actually improve it. Okay. Now, the next step is, how can I improve it? What steps can I do? What's the first action that I could do to actually get to improve it and redeem myself from this mistake? Now, see, there are different filters already installed, but this is, I'm sharing with you how I get to think with these sort of situations with just this simple mindset. Diba? Sabi ko nga dito, there is no failure, only feedback. Okay, this may be true for some, but again, meron na naman siyempre, hindi naman na yan. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Kasi next, i-explain ko rin yung iba pang mindsets. Okay. Next is, we already have the resource inside of us. I experience this a lot sa mga coaching calls, therapy sessions. Parang, pag tinatanong mo, ano ba? Anong problema? Ganun. Ay, hindi ko alam Diba? Hindi ko alam Okay. You get to ask deeper questions. Continue mo hanggang sa mahanap mo yung resource. Minsan, ito yun Paano ko ba i-explain to? Nang maayos. Okay, meron ganito. Meron kang kaibigan. Binigyan mo na ng tamang advice. Di ba? Humingi siya, ano mo yung pwedeng gawin ko dito sa sitwasyon na to? Binigyan mo ng advice. So pagkabigay mo ng advice, alam nyo parehong tama yun. Nag-agree din siya. Pero after na 1 year, it's the same thing. Walang nagbago. Hindi rin niya ginawa ng paraan or whatsoever. Wala. Bakit? Pareho naman kayo nag-agree na tama naman yung iwan na niya to. Diba? Ba't siya nandun pa din? Kasi hindi pa niya na-accept yung decision na yon. Now, here's the thing. If you get to pull out the resource so that the person accepts it and actually believes it, make that decision about it, mas malaki yung chance na gawin na niya yun. Tama? So, sa akin, ito yun. Lahat ng problema, I don't want to generalize. Okay, karamihan ng problema, alam na nung tao yung sagot. Yung solution. Right? But they haven't accepted that solution yet. Or hindi pa fully nagiging clear yung solution sa utak nila. So one of our approaches in neuro-linguistic programming is to pull that out, make it clearer, more vivid, so that they could see, they could map the necessary approach to actually make that decision. Clear? Okay. Next is mind and body works as one unit. Okay. Mind and body works as one unit. Mind and body works as one. So, you get to strengthen the mind, you got to also strengthen the body. To strengthen the body, you could also strengthen the mind. Right? So, dito pumapasok yung concept na sinabi ko kanina. When you get to believe that it's warm, it changes. Right? So, visualization on how you see yourself. Tama? Dito pumapasok din yung self-talk. There are experiments that have been done for this one. You could research it sa internet. Pero sa akin, I've done this physically with hypnosis. Okay? So, ang ginawa ko lang is, I call it the power test eh. Yung mga stretch ng kamay. Yeah? And then, ang ginagawa ko is, I want you to say that you're super strong right now. Yeah. I want you to believe in yourself 100%. I believe in you. Okay, full energy. Yung mga tao, sumisigaw pa. Tama? So ngayon, I want you to feel that energy, that confidence, and everything, that strength. Ang lakas. Kahit 2 tao, ang hirap ibaba yung kamay. Tama? Pero here's the thing. The next thing that I would say was like, okay, shake it. Shake that feeling and remove it from your body right now. From your mind, from your body. Just exhale. Remove everything. Now you're a blank slate. Now, sabi ko lang, repeat to yourself, yan na, I am weak. I am weak. Hindi ko kaya to. Meron na akong sakit, meron na akong lagnat, ng 2 linggo, etc. So ngayon, nalambot. Pati boses ko, ang bagal. So what happened next? What happened next is when tinaas siya yung kamay niya, and then I say, even if you try and consider or pretend to raise your hand, hindi mo magagawa. With all the thoughts inside his head, na hindi ko kaya to, nanlalambot ako, I am weak, diba? Walang tiwala. Yung mga negative self-talk, finid ko eh. Tama? And you would notice the hand, hirap na hirap itaas. Okay? And that was just me feeding the mind. And the body followed. Now, think about it. Ito yung advocacy ko eh. What do you keep on repeating to yourself? What stories are getting repeated in yourself? What's the narrative inside your head? Pero here's the next thing. I want everyone to notice. Wow, magiging therapy session. I want you to notice the environment that you're in. Your environment also affects what's going inside your head. Tama. Toxic nung mga kasama mo, tapos ikaw gusto mong labanan, pero yun nga eh, nadadamay ka dun sa toxicity. Pero again, you have a choice, right? Yun yung gusto natin ibigay dito. So, kailangan ko na mag-next slide, next topic. Pero I want everyone to understand that, yun nga, the mind and body works as one. So, I want you to manage your self-talk, manage your environment so that yung pumapasok, what you allow. Ito lininaw ko yung word what you allow. Meron kang control eh. Okay? So, kung meron man pumapasok na hindi mo gusto, you don't allow it, you don't give attention to it, hindi siya papasok. Maliit yung chance. Kung pumasok man siya, may filter ka pa to reframe it para hindi ka masyado apektado. Pwede yun. Pwede yun. At natitrain yun. Okay? So, next tayo. Okay. Skills are learnable. Bubulol pa ako. Learnable. Okay. Naaral yan. So, I wasn't a good public speaker before. I'm not really good with communication before. No? Ngayon, I believe myself that I could really communicate well right now. Pero dati, it was really a challenge for me. So here's the thing. I studied, I copied. Look for people around you that are already good. Yung sinabi ko kanina, yung technique modeling. Right? So surround yourself with really good public speakers, coaches, trainers, and you would get to absorb the mindset, the energy that they're putting in. And then you get to practice and practice and practice. So as you get, repetition is the mother of all skill. So as you get to repeat and repeat and repeat, position yourself, diba? Take advantage of opportunities to actually like speak to a larger audience, to like schools, to like big companies. And pag nasasanay ka na doon, it just becomes second nature. Wala nang kaba. You're just having fun. Ito yan, having fun din. Having fun. Yun yung mga nakita ko, yun yung mga natutunan ko with the best people around the world. They're also having fun with what they're doing. So, I just like, invited tayo dito to actually share knowledge. I saw it as a very good opportunity to actually share this advocacy. Because, pareho kami ng belief ni Tina. Nag-usap kami kanina the other day din, na a lot of people, if they could understand these tools, like neuro-linguistic programming and even hypnosis na hindi lang budol-budol yun na associate nyo dyan sa word na yan, it could work wonders. You could program yourself and program, diba, your environment, the people around you. You could use it for coaching, for, diba, kung ano man yung gusto mong gawin yan. For sales and marketing, pwede rin. Diba? So yeah, yan. Other things na pwede nyo rin na mindset pa, na importante, na gusto ko i-share is ito. Ito, number 1 ko to. Everyone, respect each other's, respect each other's model of the world. Iba-iba tayo ng reality sa utak natin. Diba? Iba-iba tayo ng perception, opinions, values, diba? So, when a person says something na hindi nag-a-align sa akin, teka lang, I want to see the perspective. If I were to position myself with his experience, his knowledge and everything, okay, that changes my understanding of things. Tama? So, each and every one, when someone says, Ken, I have like the big D, yung ibang D na maisip po, depression, for example, or other things like that. So if you were to define what depression is, what is depression like for you? I have a model of depression inside my head, which is diba, inaaral yan eh. Inaaral natin yan eh. As coaches, therapists, diba? Inaaral natin yan eh. Pero here's the thing. Iba yung model of the world nung kausap natin. Right? So, if I get to ask this type of question, what's it like for you if you were to define it? Tapos binigyan niya yung specific definition niya. And, di ba, iba-iba tayo ng meaning. So, ngayon, I get to work with that lang. Kung ano yung mismong model niya. And it makes it easier then. Right? So, ganon. So, parang it's the same thing with what I do with situational leadership. So, when I get to do training sa mga companies, ang pinag-uusapan natin is about leadership, minsan ini-install ko tong question na to for these leaders. So, if you were to ask the people that you get to work with, hindi the people below you, the people that you get to work with on a day-to-day basis, and you get to ask this question. If you were to define what a good leader is, what's a good leader like for you? And now, one-on-one yun eh. Di ba? One-on-one. They give you an answer. Please, 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 listen and effing take note. Take note. Why? Sinabi na nila what a good leader is like for you. Ang gagawin mo na lang is to like work with that model and be actually that, so that, di ba? Another question that you could ask people is like, if ikaw, I understand na iba-iba yung tao, yun nga, setting the frame muna. If I get to ask this question is, the question I'd ask is, if you were to, ano mas gusto mo? Ikaw yung taong may diskarte, may sarili ka leadership, pabayaan kita, or ikaw yung tao na gusto mo gina-guide ka or binibigyan ka ng specific instructions. Right? So, again, this is also understanding their model of the world. So, pag binibigyan ka nila ng answer, take note, and then you could understand, create better strategies to actually work with your people. Alright? Okay, next. Humahaba ako pero bibilisan ko lang to Kailangan ko daanan to. Mindset of being present. Mindset of being present is things that happen in the past are already in the past. Tapos na Nangyari na. Okay, you could learn from it, pero it's already in the past. Things that are about to happen in the future hasn't happened yet. Okay, take my time. ayos ba? May natututunan ba? Okay, hindi ko nakikita yung comments nyo. So, again, if you're learning something, feel free to share this to your Facebook profiles and tag your friends, because, again, this is solid information. Okay, so balik tayo doon, being in the present. Ito, na tinuturo to, mindfulness and other stuff, di ba, tinuturo na to Please, sa mga hindi pa nakakaintindi nito, please research on it, because ang laking bagay na to that could change your life. Talaga. A lot of people have been focused on the past. May mga nangyari, pagkakamali, di ba, traumas, di ba? Tama. Yun Pero if you get to focus and shift on the present, what's happening right now, clarity of mind, ang laking bagay. Ang laking bagay talaga. So yeah, pwede pa lumalim yun, pero sige, yun na muna yun. I hope you get it. Alright, next is freedom and control. Freedom and control, to put it simply, who's in control of your life? Di ba? Ikaw yung in control sa buhay mo. So, a lot of like clients that I get to work with, I understand that kaya nga sila nagre-reach out because in their life right now, they're looking for like clarity. A lot of things are happening. Since a lot of things are happening, it's hard to make that decision to actually, ano ba dapat ang focusan ko ngayon? Diba? Minsan may ganun, kailangan clarity coaching Pero nawawalan sila ng control because there are lots and lots and lots of thoughts. And most of those thoughts are not even theirs. it's more or less like installed by the environment. No? Kailangan gawin mo to, di ba? Yung mga concept na that puts a lot of people inside boxes na dapat ganito, kasal ka na, dapat ganito, dapat by this age, ganito ka na. Right? Again, you have your own journey. You have your own journey. You could compare your journey to others, but again, remember, you have your own journey. You have your own way of how you see things, your own way on how relationships work, your own values. You're unique. Diba? Pansin mo pa nga ngayon, everyone just personalized everything because they have the freedom to actually do so. So, isa sa mga ginagawa ko with my approach as a coach is first to work with thought freedom. Clear those thoughts first, and as I get to help a person clear the thoughts, mas madali nang magtrabaho ng malinis yung canvas. Tama? And then choose what you allow in. Kung ano yung mga sinasabi, okay, puro negative self-talk naririnig mo, teka lang. Kung hindi mo napakinggan yon, hindi mo binigyan ng focus, would it have control over you? Maybe you've been focused on giving attention to the thoughts that doesn't empower you. What if you get to change that and put focus and attention to the thoughts, to the people that actually give you energy, give you power? Tama? Tropa mo, negative na negative. Ba't doon ka pa rin sumasama? Di ba? Di ba? Parang simple logic lang. Ba't pinipilit mo pa rin sumama doon sa mga yan? Eh, alam mo naman, hindi ka naman, dinadown ka lang ng mga yan. No, you get to go out, position yourself with better people. Yun nga, tulad, if you get to see my Facebook wall, labas lang ako na labas. Attend lang kami na attend. Mga meetups, mga workshops, different people, reconnecting with people na talagang appreciate you. Right? That gives you energy to actually push forward further. So again, I'm just sharing my journey. Your journey could be different. So yeah, respect the model of the world. But I hope what I'm sharing may help you with actually creating the decisions and creating better thoughts moving forward. Okay, so yep. I think yun yung muna yung syempre sa positions ko. Tina, paano lang, pa-flash lang kung ilang minutes pa yung available for me. I'll go with mindsets. Okay, tapos tayo sa mindsets. Sige, okay lang. Off ko lang muna yung sa slides. I'll go with application. Where can you apply the NLP? Yan. Kasi, sige, diretso ko na to. Okay. Dito muna ako bago tayo sa application sa workplace, ha? Okay. Number 1, curiosity. With Neuro-linguistic programming, NLP centers with curiosity. So as an NLP practitioner, I'm always curious. I'm always asking questions. How does this happen? Why does this happen? When can this happen? Tama? How can I work with this? So yun yung mga questions ko. So when I get to work with a client, I always ask, teka lang, what are your goals? What are your concerns? What are your bottlenecks? And what's stopping you? Right? What's stopping you from actually getting the growth that you deserve, the results that you deserve? Now, with me being really curious and asking these questions, syempre, mas maganda yung nakukuha natin na answers. And if I'm not getting the answers, I just have to reframe the question or break the pattern. O, relax muna, baka medyo iba yung emotional state ng tao. And then when they in a better state, you could continue asking better questions so that you get better answers. So, NLP practitioners, or a lot of good ones talaga center with curiosity. Okay, adaptability, freedom. Ayan, yan yung sinabi ko kanina, di ba? So, when you get to understand most of these concepts, you get to like mix and match things. Okay, some tools, di ba? Uy, pwede ko i-mix and match to. Yan, ganyan. Dahil one of the key things ng neuro-linguistic programming din, na gusto ko i-add dito, is what we call acuity. Working with the senses. So, when you get to learn more about NLP concepts, lalo na yung visual, auditory, kinesthetic, when you go into a conversation, okay, you know what to look for. Right? Sa mga nagsisales dito, di ba, tinuturuan din kayo to actually notice body language. Alam mo kung ano yung closed body language, negative body language, ano yung open body language, ano yung buying body language, right? You get to notice also micro expressions, little movements with the face, and gets, di ba, it communicates a lot already. So that's visual acuity. Auditory acuity, pansin nyo sa mga relationships, napapansin niyo pag matagal na yung relationship, onting taas lang ng boses ng partner mo, parang inaaway ka na. Di ba, iba na yung dating because you've been too used with the normal tone of voice, tama, masaya, normal, and then you've already mapped inside your head pag galit na siya. And you get to give a different ano yung tawag dito? Sagot. Different answer pag based on how the people around you say things. So yung auditory acuity. Next is yung kinesthetic naman, yung feelings, 'di ba? You get to raise your emotions, you get to raise yung may mga tawag tayo empath, 'di ba? May mga ganung concept. So when you get to notice yung kausap mo when they're feeling, for example, alam mong busy yung kausap mo, alam mong feeling mo hindi siya attentive or hindi, feeling mo nalalambot siya, meron siyang sakit, would I still continue the meeting? So if I get to work with my acuity, ka lang, I get a feeling na parang is there something wrong? Are you Is ang dami ba nangyayari, or I think you're busy, or maybe we could just reschedule this meeting for a different time, right? So again, when you get to improve your senses and know what to actually look for in this like conversation building relationships, ito yung mga concepts na pwede mong laruin to build better rapport, better relationship. Okay? So, yan. At tinatrain yan sa NLP, yan, sa mga practitioner programs. It's may mga exercises that dyan to actually train your senses din. Okay? So, yan. Peace of mind, nilagay ko lang yan dito kasi I do believe importante ng peace of mind, clarity. So, working with systems, yan, na-work on din yan with NLP techniques, yung mga breathing patterns, mga anong tawag doon, progressive relaxation techniques na ginagamit din sa hypnosis. 'Di ba? Yan, pwede yan. One concept na natuturo to sa mga negotiation, 'di ba, practices is it's what we call mirror and matching. I love teaching mirror and matching, pero sobrang lawak nito, sobrang lalim din ito. Pero if you get to practice this approach, this tool, and it's very, very useful. Yung iba kasi masyadong nagmamatching. Nagmamatching. Ang nangyayari, they copy too much. Yung sobrang body language, gumanon lang yung kausap, talagang kinopya na rin. Di ba? Again, do this subtly. Be subtle with actually working with this technique. Understand that it's not just body language that you could mirror and match. You could also match behavior. You could also match like decision making. Right? A simple match of like, you ask the question, oy, taga saan ka nag-aaral, bro? Doon ako nag-aaral sa ganitong school eh. Oh, ako rin. That's already a match. Diba? Diba? And you could instantly build rapport. Sometimes, some people just build rapport based on similarities. So, if something is familiar, mas madali siyang ma-process. Right? But the way I do this in like covert hypnosis way is more on, ang tawag ko dito is linguistic farming. Medyo advanced na term, but linguistic farming is when you get to talk to people, you get to map specific words that they use. And mind you, words shape our reality. If you get to notice specific words that they keep on repeating, di ba napapansin natin, may mga mannerisms, di ba? Habits na hindi na napapansin. They just like repeat and repeat those words. And then you say those words, mas pasok yun dun sa reality nila because that's how everything is coded inside their head. Okay? So, yung linguistic farming, listen, write it down, memorize the specific words that they use, structure your sentence to actually fit how they say things, and boom. Parang mag-best friend na kayo. Yan. Okay. So, anchors. Anchors, to put it simply, this is about association. So, my favorite explanation for this one is like A is equal to apple, B is equal to boy, C is equal to cat. It's like you've associated specific states, specific feelings to like songs, to locations, to accessories. So if you get to think, look around you, yun lang, look around you and look like, ano yung mga suot mo ngayon? Right? Meron ka bang paboritong gamit, paboritong accessory? And siguro, one thing that I could share with you right now na effective is, look around you right now. I want you to notice what stands out. Something that makes you feel good. Could be something that makes you feel confident. Right? May it be, yung iba, mga gamit na high value. Diba? Yung iba, sa mga babae, mga, diba? Mga mamahalin na bag. Diba? Pag hawak nila yun, parang may superpower. Parang may superpower. Sa akin, ito, yeah. The bracelet that my wife made for me. And syempre, wedding ring and relo. And yung iba, mga lalaki, syempre, yung relo na yan, it gives you like, meron mga meaning when you see it. Tama? Yung sense of time, ganyan. Okay. Yung iba naman, sa may mga salamin, ang tingin ng iba is mas matalino daw, di ba? Pag may salamin. So, again, everyone has already created specific meanings to specific things. When I ask a person, okay, think of a relaxing place, most people would think of the beach. So, here's the thing. So, if nandun ka na ba sa beach, relax ka na? Gets mo? You already made association. So, if you were to define what happiness is for you, lalim na. So, happiness na. Happiness is, yeah, same thing yung sinabi ko kanina. If you were to define what a very good leader is for you, ano yung itsura ng a good leader for you? So, you get to understand the anchors inside yung mga katrabaho mo on how they perceive things and get to use it to your hindi naman advantage. Pero yeah, advantage. So, yun. Okay. So, bibilisan ko na ng konti ito. VAK, visual, auditory, kinesthetic. Ito yung mga main factors na nilalaruan ng NLP din. Yan nga, sinabi ko kanina sa acuity, get to raise, understand more with understand how people see things. Okay, lalo na may mga taong highly visual. So when I get to communicate with visual people, of course, I use the words like imagine, visualize. I do this like this one, presentation. Diba? You're doing your presentation, naka-HD yung high def yung mga images, di ba? So as you get to improve your branding, improve the way you present, everything is perceived more differently. Tama? So kung gagamit ako ng di ba, mga 1990s na PowerPoint, di ba? Mga naka-ASCII pa, tapos yung mga clip word art, di ba? You get to be perceived, di ba? As ganun. Pero as you get to improve your design also, the perception of how people see you changes also. Yun, visual. Auditory, bakit tayo may mic? Of course, so that hindi tayo masyado strained sa boses and we could modulate better. When we say things, mas maganda yung malinaw na naririnig ng mga tao. Okay? So, yun. And feelings, you get to improve on how you communicate, how you make people feel, use your body language, your smile, your energy to actually like communicate better. Di ba? Nas nai-improve, yun. It changes the landing. And sometimes it's not what you say, but how you say it. Right? So, yeah. The confidence, yun nga. Sa confidence naman, or mindset ng ganito, papasok dito yung technique na sinasabi ko kanina, modeling. So, if you were to like access specific states previously, way back, you already experienced or you already know the feeling of what confidence is. A lot of people, ito I'll create an anchor, a lot of people associate confidence with like getting action to thought. You doing what you're thinking and actually applying it. For some, that's confidence. For some, confidence may be comfortability. When you're too comfortable in a certain environment, people get to perceive you as confident. Right? So map the feeling that you want to create. For example, gusto mo nga maging confident, i-map mo muna. What is confidence for you? When you look at other people, what makes them confident? And kung sinasabi mo lang posture, notice your posture right now. If you were to change your posture right now to someone who's confident, how would you look like? Just breathe in. Isa pa. And relax. Lower your shoulders and relax. Now, how do you feel? Diba? Sometimes a simple shift in like breathing and like your posture could like lead you to a state that you want. So, yeah, confidence. Ako, na-relax din ako, diba? Sarap. Some techniques involve pattern interrupt. This is also a conversational hypnosis technique that we get to use, but pattern interrupts is when bad trip, may galit na tao, di ba? Tapos biglang may naglalakad, dadapa. Di ba? Minsan ang hirap magpigil ng matawa. So this is a strong pattern interrupt. You are feeling you're in a high emotional state and then something breaks it, something happens, right? So for people that are having some panic attacks, or having problem with overthinking. Minsan, pinapadala ko lang sila ng sachet ng, alam mo yun, sa McDonald's, yung salt. Budbud mo yung asin sa ilalim ng dila mo. Ang alat nun. Diba? So ngayon, yung focus ng thoughts mo, it's not on that problem or kung ano man ino-overthink mo. Now it focuses on the alat. Right? It's a shift in the thinking. So a pattern interrupt, state interrupt. And when you get to understand this approach, this concept, this could really work. Lalo na if you get to apply it to yourself or in the workplace. Nagagalit ka, teka lang, meron akong anchor. For example, nagagalit ako tapos nakita ko yung kuwari, itong laughing Buddha ko dito sa harapan ko ngayon. Di ba? Natatawa ako. So, pwedeng mag-shift ka agad if I allow it. Teka lang. When I look at this, anchor ko is I get to go to a blank state. So, galit ako, nakita ko siya, programming yung utak ko, go to a blank state. Galit pa ba ako? Pwedeng oo, pero pwedeng hindi na rin. Clear? Okay. Perspective, change perspective is more or less, you get to position yourself talaga. As an NLP practitioner, isa to sa mga main factors na pinapractice din namin. You get to look, position yourself sa mindset or like viewpoint ng ibang tao. Not just viewpoint. Tingnan mo rin yung what led them to that decision. Minsan ganun eh. So pinapractice yan ng mabilis na mabilis. So if you get to profile people, di ba, malaking bagay din to. Pero lalo na sa conflict resolution, if you get to understand where they're coming from and you get to understand their perspective, yeah, that changes a lot. Okay, systems ito, NLP systems, so more of like sa mga nagsisix sigma, tingnan nyo rin to, medyo similar lang din to eh. You break down the process. When they say they're feeling something, break down my process. Why are they feeling this way? So other feelings, when you think about this, what other feelings come to mind when you get to, like, get mo, bini-break down natin yan. So if you get to find the root and then na-work out mo yung root na problem, di ba? What happens is minsan domino effect yan. When we get to work with us a root problem, a root value na naayos natin, perception and everything, minsan pati yung mga viewpoints na current, nagbabago rin. Okay? So minsan ang trabaho namin is to find the root and work with that root. Okay? So environment, ito na naman, sinasabi ko ito palagi, work with your environment. Napaka-importante yan. So your friends, your immediate circles, yung workmates mo, again, you have to work with it so that it fits you. Okay? Mas maganda yung buhay pag hindi ka masyado stressed. Okay? So, ayun, and ka lang, pa-stop lang ng Tina, ng share screen. Yun, okay. So, i-run through ko lang bago ako mag-wrap up, no? Saan natin na-apply sa ano mga pwedeng application ng NLP? I taught yung mga mindsets, I taught the specific tools na mga main tools na pwede nyo gamitin. So, saan siya pwede gamitin? Number 1, leadership. So, as you get to apply neuro-linguistic programming for leadership, you get to like work with perspective, nagagamit din to sa coaching, very useful, right? You could map out systems and help people with clarity, lalo na pag goal setting, right? Yun, malaking bagay yon. Next is you get to improve your communication skills. Dahil syempre, a lot of the key approaches ng neuro-linguistic programming is words, connected with words. So there you're given like specific scripts or approaches that you could really use with to improve your communication skills greatly. Next is gathering resources. So with gathering resources, you get to have an improved version of your questions. Okay, so yung sabi ko kanina, better questions, you get better answers. More information, better information. Okay, with conflict resolution, ayan, na mas nagagamit mo siya kasi you're in a better state eh. You have dissociated yourself from the situation so that you're neutral, you're thinking calm, wala ka masyado emotions, you could think more logically, right? And you could get to work and get more data so that you could resolve conflict faster, right? And more efficiently. Okay, yun sinabi ko kanina, clarity of goal, yan, so goal setting, clarity of mind. Kasi yun nga, in a workplace, minsan ang daming iniisip ng isang tao, minsan nabubudbud sa kanya, lalo na sa mga leaders, daming ginagawa, di ba? Alright? So if you could get to like list understand what's the priority, you could just center on that and work your way through so that meron kang process, malinis yung trabaho. You know what to delegate because it's not yours. Okay, alam mo yan. Okay, sales and marketing, yan. Copywriting, very useful. Marketing, I know a lot of people who've attended some of my workshops that are centered with sales and marketing. Most na nakakausap ko ay nasa mga sales industry. So, ginagamit nila to for positioning sa social media content nila, yung sa copywriting for their Facebook ads, sa mga websites nila, yung mga specific positioning, yung anchors, di ba, yung perception, they play with that. So, yun. And last but not least, yun nga, public speaking. So, siguro nakita nyo naman kung paano na ako magsalita. Sa mga nakakita na sa akin before, nakita ko rin sa sarili ko, ang laki na ng changes. So, modeling is a very, very good skill to learn. And as you get to practice more nga, yun nga, mas nagiging solid. Diba? So, nasa na ako? HR Cafe. Okay, share ulit ako. Yan. So, before I wrap up, di ba? Humaba na yata ako. So, ano lang, ito yung ina-explain palagi sa mga communication workshops. So, Merabian. Like 55% like visual, 38% auditory. Pero ano ba tong 7%? I call this the reverse Merabian right now. Here's how I see things. Most of communication right now are focused with the 7%. The 7%, which is now the 100%. Right? You message, you create emails, diba? Usual sa company, sa Slack, sa Messenger, sa emails, everything is just words. Improve how you say things even if it's just words. Yung simpleng pagsabi mo lang ng noted. Other people have already created an anchor with noted na parang, diba? Wala lang, copy. Diba? Minsan, na-replyan ka ng copy o noted, minsan parang bad trip ka, parang, ayun lang yun. Right? When it could have been a more meaningful message, parang, oh, this is, I acknowledge and thank you for this, just to clarify, diba? Maganda yung may balikan ng ganun. Pero, gusto ko lang i-highlight to. Words. Ang laking bagay na to. So, improve how you say things, yung mga emojis, yung simpleng punctuation mark, could change a lot. Ngayon, nag-all caps ka lang, tingin na ng tao, galit ka. Tama, we've already created anchors on how people write things eh. And here's the thing, you can now communicate emotion through words. Words alone. Yun nga, may feeling na, in-all capsan ka, in-exclamation point ka. So, work with it. Understand it better. Yan yung mga finofocusan ko sa mga tinuturo ko for the past years. Ayan, words have power. Ito, tapos na ako. So, if you want, you've listened up to this part, I have a free PDF that's focused on like the top 15 questions you get to ask yourself. This is more on like awareness to, personal journey mo to. So the questions that I put here are more of like reflective questions so that you could get to know yourself better. And yeah, I have a podcast. Ayan, more on self-talk to. Wala to masyado ng mga persuasion stuff, but more on like the coaching and the mental health stuff. So if you want, yeah, I'm on Spotify and YouTube. Yeah, search nyo lang. And final message ko as a trainer is communicate, yan, authenticity. Be yourself. Understand, for you to be yourself, understand also, syempre, muna, kung sino ka ba talaga. Sino ka ba talaga? And when you're at home with yourself, you're more free to actually like do anything na gusto mo without na hindi mo binibigyan too much attention yung judgment ng ibang tao sa'yo. Right? You're more free to do things. So yeah, Tina, yeah, I'm done. Ito lang yung last slide na to. Yeah. Hi, Alan. Yun.
Galing, pare.
Nice ba?
Very good.
Salamat.
Alright. Sa mga taong may tanong kay Sir Ken-ken, pakitanong na lang po sa ating chat box. How about you, Sir Alan? Based on sa sinabi ni Sir Ken.
Well, ang ano ko kasi I've been studying NLP also, napunta pa nga ako sa mga iba't ibang disciplines and philosophies
Hmm.
beyond science. Kasi anyway, NLP has been branded as pseudoscience naman eh. So sabi ko,
Tama.
so what kung mapunta ako sa iba pang disciplines? So, di ba, yung mga self-talk, creative visualization, and
Hmm.
deep down into the meditation stuff, napunta ako na
Mm.
sa mysticism, metaphysics, to the point of yung quantum physics na. So, isa lang sinasabi, tama ka eh, words, nandoon yung power eh. Kasi may impact talaga yung words sa mind natin. Paulit-ulit mo sabihin sa sarili mo, talagang mangyayari. May nagsabi pa nga isa, pare hindi ako naniniwala diyan sa neuro-linguistic programming. Ibig sabihin, ulit-ulitin mo lang mangyayari sa'yo. O sige, ayaw maniwala. O sige, ganito, experiment tayo. Ulit-ulitin mo sarili mo, may cancer ako, may cancer ako, may cancer ako. Alam mo, sabi niya, ayoko nga, baka magkatotoo. O tamo, di naniwala ka rin. Di naniwala ka rin. Now, yun ang isa sa mga concern ko kasi a lot of people are saying that NLP is not backed by science. Until now ba, it is not backed by science. That is why they are still calling it a pseudo-science. Ano ba ang ginagawa ng mga experts kasalukuyan internationally
Hmm.
para ito ay ma-accept as part of the scientific community, maging accepted ng scientific community? What
Okay.
what are your thoughts?
Sige,
Anong updates?
thoughts ko dito kasi alam ko ito I could be straight to the point naman dito eh, 'di
Mm.
ba? Okay lang.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Dito lalo na dito sa Philippines. Ang laking challenge 'yan. Dahil syempre hindi ka you could only brand yourself like a coach. 'Di ba? Pag lumilinya ka doon sa linya ng mga therapy, which is alam mo 'yun, Alan, nasabi mo nga you've studied NLP also. Ang daming tools that have like created or changed a lot of people's lives already that
Mm-mm.
are working. Pero ang hirap i-bridge dun sa part ng therapist ako, NLP therapist ako, 'di ba? Ang hirap i-bridge dun kasi nga a lot of people or lalo na sa expert fields brand NLP as pseudoscience.
Mm-mm.
Right? So iba-iba yung push ng mga tao sa ibang bansa eh. Iba-iba yung push eh. Pero I could say truthfully ngayon na hindi hindi pa rin siya napupush doon sa level ng expertise na hinahanap natin. Okay,
Mm-mm.
kaya
Mm.
yung advocacy, for example, ako ang advocacy ko, I'm doing these talks so that people get to understand more the wonders on how they could use it on a personal basis.
Mm-mm.
Dahil ito yung challenge with NLP. Madali aralin ng NLP.
Mm-mm.
Anyone could just go online, even on Udemy, and take a course there and say that they're an NLP practitioner.
Mm. Mm.
Tama. So ngayon,
Tama.
ang hirap isabihin na, oy, NLP practitioner yan. Oy, I could trust this 100%.
Yeah.
Ang hirap eh. Okay? So, yun yung medyo challenge with this approach dahil mabilis siyang aralin. So, ang hirap kumuha ng data na pag NLP practitioner to, kaya magaling to, practice to. Ang hirap.
Mm.
Wala tayong
Mm.
masyadong data. So, I could stand with there are a lot of people who are really good with NLP, being a
Mm.
coach, being a practitioner, pero ang dami na may certificate tapos wala. So, in terms dun to answer your question, medyo gray area pa rin ng NLP.
I'd
Sobrang
like to
gray area pa
ask,
rin. Yeah.
kasi like, is leadership a science? Diba? Like, if you think about it, there's so many courses that are out there about good leadership. And
Mhm.
technically, diba, you have to pay and you enroll if you think it works, right? So
Mhm.
for me, it's the same with NLP. It is, sa totoo lang, I know, sir, I know Ken for a while now. And
Mhm.
I know NLP as well. But I will never say it is a pseudoscience. Because it's something that if you really listen and open your mind into it, and you're actually in HR, there's really so many ways for you to apply it at the workplace. Sobra. And ang ganda ng NLP is you're applying it, but the other person don't know that you're applying it. You really have a very distinct advantage if you understand and know how to apply neuro-linguistic programming in your workplace. Kasi it affects not just how you think, but you can also change the other person's mind on how they work. And I think that's the core of what HR is eh. Kasi may nag-message sa akin ng PM sa akin na parang hirap na hirap daw siyang pasunurin yung tao niya. Na bakit daw parang sa sobrang bait daw nila, hindi niya ma-convince yung tao niya na magsumunod sa kanya na kailangan niyang bilhin yung loyalty ng tao niya through benefits and added salary. And I'm like,
Incentives.
incentive added sa sabi ko parang, ang sarap mong mag-enroll sa NLP course ni Ken-ken Somera. You know what I mean? Like, convincing people does not require money. It is a way of thinking. It is a strategy on how you can get them to follow. Because so many people follow without any exchange of money. But it
Mm.
really depends on how you communicate that idea to them. And in a way, that's the reason why di ba sa Netflix, meron nga yung mga cults. How come there's so
Pinanood mo rin.
many religious leaders, political leaders, where their followers blindly follow them? Di naman sila gwapo, hindi naman sila matangkad, di naman sila matalino, hindi naman sila magaling. Pero pag nagsasalita sila, akala mo nagloloka-loka na yung tao. They think that these people are gods. And I think it's also because of they're using NLP strategy. They're really
Um,
using NLP strategy in order
s-
to win people, 'di ba?
mm, sa
Kasi when you
spirituality,
oo,
o applicable yan pagdating sa
even
spiritual guys,
politics,
sa
even
politics,
at
mukhang
work,
pera ang pinag-usapan natin doon. I beg to
even at
disagree.
politics, people will die for to follow a presidential candidate. You know what I mean? Like they believe this is the savior of the country. So there's these sort of things then na parang so many people, ay, hypnotherapy yan, di totoo yan, pseudoscience yan. Sa akin naman, why not give it a chance and learn it? Because if you actually enroll in their course, if you are
Mm-mm.
an HR practitioner or you're a business owner, you will find there's a lot of application on how to change other people's minds, if not only your own. That's so powerful, 'di ba? Pero again, how long does it usually take to actually understand? Kasi I know there's a lot of people who are studying NLP, pero parang ilang buwan na, ilang taon na hindi pa nila gets.
I agree, I agree.
Mm-mm.
Pero balikan ko lang yung ano, yung
Oh,
statement niya ni Alan kanina kasi I could connect and I could give a direct answer with that na
yeah.
nakafocus lang sa two words eh. Ang focus ko lang dito is what works. Sabi mo
Yeah,
kanina
exactly.
in terms of leadership, 'di ba? Parang ang dami, why do other people see it as a pseudoscience? Pero here's
Oh.
the thing. There will always be people that align with self with a specific approach. So
Mm.
we're not marketing that for
Exactly.
example, ako na ito yung dapat gawin. No, ito
Correct.
yung dapat gawin natin. Ito dapat yung approach for everything. But
Mm.
with neuro-linguistic programming, it's so free. I mean,
Mm.
ang nangyayari is like spirituality nga and other modalities, these are different modalities. May
Mm.
mga tao na pupunta sa isang spiritual na healer and they would
Mm.
get the needed answers that they need and that could
Mm.
Mm-mm.
change their life. Again,
Mm.
if we look at that concept no sinabi ko, it works. That
Mm.
works. Yun yung current model of reality nila and they believe it. That's why malaki yung chance that it works for
Exactly.
them. Oh.
Mm.
so, so in terms
Exactly.
of like neuro-linguistic programming, hypnotherapy, there are people who are getting to understand more that ay, nakita ko to, it worked for them. Nakita ko to, it worked for them. So they reach out to us. So
Mm.
hindi ako nagtipong, oy, kailangan ito yon. So we don't need to market it, but as
Exactly.
more and more people get aware on how this works, yun na, sila na yung
ang
lumalapit.
ang
Yun.
common denominator sa lahat ng yan, whether it's spirituality,
Mhm.
politics,
Mhm.
neurolinguistic programming, or hypnotism,
Mhm.
yung subject,
Mhm.
Mm.
sabay
Tama.
naniwala.
Tama.
Yung
Mm.
belief ng subject, no
Yeah.
matter what modality will you use, pag hindi siya naniwala, it will not work. Pero
Mm.
pag naniwala siya, the person becomes vulnerable, susceptible, Kaya nga subject eh.
Yeah,
Magiging ano na
subject.
siya, magiging effective sa kanya. That is why kung gamitan ka ng isang healer, gumamit siya ng kung ano ng mga mantra, pero hindi ka talaga naniniwala, wala mangyayari. But isang dumb na mukhang walang alam, tapos yung mga taong naniniwala sa kanya, kahit ano sabi niya, Diyos siya,
Mhm.
tama ka eh. People will follow the person kahit nakakatawa itsura niya because they believe in him. It's the
Belief.
belief that
Beliefs.
makes any modality work.
Oo.
Pero Alan, for me, I mean, I just want to add,
Placebo. No.
it's not just it impacts the person who is receiving it eh. Kasi you can use NLP talaga in managing another person. You can use
Depende
the
sa language nga,
strategies
ma'am,
eh.
eh. Halimbawa,
Oo.
Bisaya ako, hindi ako masyadong magaling sa English, gagamitan mo ko ng English terms ng NLP, it will not work. Dahil hindi ko
Hindi
naintindihan eh.
maintindihan. Hindi
Dapat
maintindihan.
naiintindihan ko at naniniwala ako sa sinasabi mo. That's another
Mm.
thing. Maring naiintindihan ko pero hindi ako naniniwala sa nagsasalita. Wala kang credibility sa akin, ba't ako maniniwala sa'yo? It will not work. That's how leadership
Mm-mm.
also works. Leadership will only work if you are credible enough and hindi lang yung credibility, hindi lang yung words mo, yung charisma, kasama parang ingredient yan, you know? So no
Mm-mm.
matter how pogi you are, how brilliant you are, how good you are in speaking, pero wala kang credibility, wala ring
Hmm.
maniniwala sa'yo. Hindi ka rin mag-work. So,
Sige.
it's the same as NLP. What do you think,
Yeah,
Ken?
may sagot ako diyan to connect both of your questions. Bago ko sagutin yung how long does it take, no? So, as I get to work with yan, coaching and therapy, ito yung naging concept ko diyan, authority. So, as kunwari, kaya ako nagko-conduct muna ng tinatawag kong chemistry call or alignment call with the client kasi I want na if I take a client in, I
Mm.
could deliver or make that necessary change doon sa buhay nila. Pero
Mm-mm.
kung hindi
Mm-mm.
kami aligned with
Mm-mm.
values, 'di ba, connect, wala akong authority
Right.
na magsabi. Pag doktor sinabi, okay, ito bilid mong gamot, you are meron kang binibigay na authority dun sa doktor kaya ka
Agad.
nakikinig eh.
Correct.
Oo,
Mm.
agad, walang question, 'di ba? So
Mm.
Totoo yan.
that raises the chances of a person, a client, getting the necessary the change that they need kasi naniniwala sila
Mm.
doon sa doktor. So if we
Mm-mm.
put that in naniniwala, i-change
Mm-mm.
lang natin yung term authority, yung word na ginamit ko doon. If the coach or the kung ano man has authority at makikinig tong client na to, mas malakas yung chances that the change that this client wants could happen.
Mm-mm.
Oh, mentor ka tapos sinabi mo, "Oh, eto, gawin mo tong assignment na to." Tapos wala ka authority, hindi niya ginawa. Kaya
Mm.
yung concepts, I do think a lot of people agree with me on this na nasa therapy side. We don't work with
Mm.
our friends or family. Kasi
Mm-mm. They never listen. They never listen
hindi.
to you.
Kasi wala kang authority. Hindi naman sa wala kang authority. Medyo hindi ganun kataas yung authority mo with them because they
Mm.
saw you nung so for example, ako, ngayon, I get to position myself as a coach, as an expert in the field.
Mm-mm.
Pero, sino ba ako ng mga younger days ko? Kolokoy lang, naglalaro lang ng games.
Right.
Diba? Who knew? So,
Yeah.
I don't have that full authority with my friends that
And
knew me way back.
influence.
And
Correct.
yes, very good word. Thank you, Alan. And influence to actually make that necessary changes, even though they want me to make that changes for them. Because, yun nga, there's a part of their brain that sends the signal na nakikita pa rin nila ako as who I was before. That's
Mm-mm.
why I work with people who believe that my process works, and yun nakita ko yung result sa kanila. So did I help with that question? So
Yes.
yeah, connect ko lang yung dun sa how long does it take to learn NLP? Bakit syempre ang dami naman nagte-take nito tapos hindi naman nila nakukuha yung necessary na learnings. Sa akin siguro ang naging bonus, ang naging chamba ko, ito bakit ko sinasabing chamba, I was siguro positioned in a
Mm.
community kasi. So, meron akong kasama
Oo.
na
Mm-mm.
continuous kami nag-aaral up till now. So, meron
Mm.
kaming mga monthly meetups na nagbabatuhan kami ng, okay, ano nangyari sa client na to? Ano yung pwede natin gawin? Ito yung technique na gawa akong bago, combine ko to. So, we're still passionate and curious about it. Even though
Mm.
we've been studying for, like, simula talaga kami professionally mag-aral nito mga tropa ko, 2012 eh.
Mm.
2012 talaga yung talagang deep dive na up to now.
Mm.
So, meron mga techniques that does not align with me. So, hindi ko siya inaaral. Di ba?
Mm.
So, sa akin, how long does it take? Pwede mo siya maaral ng ilang oras lang. Manood ka lang YouTube video, you get to understand it,
Mm.
apply it, kaya mo na.
Mm.
Ang kulang sa karamihan ng tao dito sa pag-aaral na to, application and practice.
Mm.
Minsan, wala kang practice partner na pag pwede mong practicean ng mga circle of excellence, yung mga
Mm.
six-step reframe, yung mga techniques na pang-therapy na.
Mm.
So, gets mo, dun tumatagal yung process. That's why when you get to attend like yung bigger certification programs ng NLP,
Mm.
they require
Mm.
you practice hours. They require you practice hours. So, madali lang siyang aralin. You could go on YouTube, study NLP research, 1 day, 2 days. You already have the information. Ang next step dito, yung practice na. Yung practice na. So, it takes like probably a couple of hours to months. Yeah, but having a
Yeah.
mentor changes the speed. So, sa akin, I have like 2 to 3 different mentors when I started this one so that na shortcut ko yung process. I was guided.
I want to promote lang ha. So, na-meet niyo si Sir Ken-ken probably this time sa HR Cafe. But actually, sa kanyang mga open groups with Ken-ken Somera, you search for his name on Facebook. Sa totoo lang, para siyang Coach Darwin sa NLP crowd. Pag nagtawag yan ng ng get together, sobrang daming tao pupunta. I actually think like kung you're single ka, sorry lang pero kung single ka, tapos naghahanap ka talaga ng somebody who is a positive thinker, motivated, wants to learn, you should actually go to some of the meetups that's organized by Ken-ken and the NLP group. Kasi you
Maraming
will meet
single doon.
a lot of very, very attractive, very interesting people in
Yan
those
ba?
groups. And ang
Thank you.
exchange ninyo, hindi physical, walang nothing physical. It's really all about how to improve your life, how to improve your relationships with other people, how to improve your communication skills. O, 'di ba? Parang
Mm.
it's double how to meet adult friends post graduation. Yun, yung mga open groups ni Ken-ken Somera. Look for it in Facebook, like it, go for it. Kung mas bata lang ako, I would go. Pero sobra talaga.
Uy,
Iba talaga
grabe ka
yung grupo
naman.
na
Wala
yun.
naman
Totoo,
limit
totoo,
yan.
'di ba, Ken? Sobrang
Yeah,
daming
yeah.
singles doon. Ma'am, bakit pa sila
Grabe yung
singles? Di
marketing.
bale, 5 years later, di na sila single.
Yung
Totoo,
marketing
di
nila.
ba? It's true,
Well,
it's
totoo
true.
naman. There are lots of like people who want to improve because
Exactly.
na young on nasa 20s to 30s because
Yes.
nandun siya sa level na parang they're looking for their partners, and then ang nagiging challenge is they're still stuck with the mindset na
Right.
I'm not accepted, I don't believe in myself.
Exactly.
So yun yung mga minsan na work on namin sa mga meron kami mga free meetups every month.
Right.
So pero limited lang yung number of participants. So ano lang, I'd love to organize more pero
Yeah.
ito mga workshops we have a lot of upcoming. So if you're interested to learn more about like neuro-linguistic programming, conversational hypnosis, I
Just
have this
join.
upcoming, ito yung upcoming na naka-flash dito, si Persuasion. I sent,
Mm.
Tina, I sent the link for the
Yes, I
forms.
posted it here on here. Yeah,
Ayan,
please click.
salamat. Ayan, so this persuasion workshop, to give it justice lang, to give information,
Mm.
these are the techniques, the understanding that I've like compiled through the years that I've been very,
Mm.
very passionate about persuasion, negotiation, ayan, sales. Isi-center ko dito yung application techniques ng NLP, conversational hypnosis, tsaka yung mga
Mm.
hypnotic language patterns. Dito ko siya ibubuhos in a workshop form. I
Okay.
decided that it's not 1 day. I
Mm.
decided it to be 2 days so that I could just focus on workshop. Kasi iba yung nagtuturo, seminar, salita ka lang, tuloy-tuloy. But
Mm.
what I want to hone with this workshop is actually a skill.
Mm.
So, application, workshop, may mga partners sila, talagang they have to convince each other, persuade each other.
Pero may
Ganun yung
tanong tayo,
concept.
Coach Ken. May nakatanong.
Sige.
Please share your thoughts on NLP strategy versus the challenge of training an old dog's new tricks.
Neuroplasticity.
Mm.
Uh, bakit ko diniretso kaagad neuroplasticity? Why most people get to believe in this saying?
Mm.
So is it true if you get to talk to like people who believe that, sino ba nagsasabi ng old dog? Pansin nyo, hindi naman old dog yung nagsasabi na old dog sila eh. Yung mga
Mm.
bata yung nagsasabi, no, you can teach an old dog new tricks. Pero here's the thing. When an old dog decides that they want to learn something, there's a
Mm.
big chance that they could learn something. You break down the process on how people learn. Iba lang ang learning strategy. For example, when an old dog believes that they can't learn new tricks, then that's a challenge to help them actually believe that they can learn new tricks. Right? So if
Oo.
we talk if we talk about NLP strategy here,
Mm.
break down the concept. Why do they believe that they cannot learn new tricks?
Mm.
Or is it
Maybe
you that
they're not
don't believe?
interested.
Or maybe you don't believe that
Mm.
they can learn new tricks. So
Mm.
again,
Yes,
there's two dynamics to it. Eh. You
Mm.
believing that they can't learn and they believing that they can't learn. Those are
Mm.
two different things and have two different, and then there are different approaches to it when you
Mm.
identify kung ano ba talaga.
Mm.
So yeah, I hope that answers the question. You could
Mm.
I do believe that when you classify an old dog, anong age yan,
Mm.
I do believe people can learn regardless of age. Yun yung
Mm.
discussion namin dun sa isang mastermind na pinuntahan ko. We were talking about this specifically and we landed
Mm.
with the word neuroplasticity lang. Even 80 years old, when they decide
Mm.
to actually study something, maglaro silang video games, they could learn if they want to. Yeah.
I think what you mentioned is correct. Kasi diba, it's an adage eh. You cannot teach old dog new tricks. Eh, pero pag HR ka kasi, you
Mm.
really have to interact with every single demographic, every single age range, every single gender. You can't pick and choose eh,
You
sometimes,
can't. You
diba?
can't. Yeah. Yeah.
Parang the people that you employ, yun na yun eh.
Mm.
So I think like minsan nakikita ko sa mga ano like what if it's the difference of gender or for example Gen Z, millennial.
Ayan yung
Ako
Branda.
naman, why are we creating divisions with the way we interact with our employees? Kasi you're not the HR of the millennials, nor are you the HR of the Gen Zs. You're the HR of the company, and you have to look at these group of people as the company. 'Di ba? So the division that we have is only on our head. So when you hire a more experienced older person who seems stubborn, tapos pag meet mo pa lang, ay ayoko sa kanya kasi hindi naman siya nakikinig, matigas ang ulo. The way you think about that person also changes the way you talk to that person. You might come out
exactly.
as more disrespectful. You might say, ay, since stubborn naman to, I'm not gonna put much effort na lang, hindi naman siya makikinig sa akin eh. So when you have that mindset, who is the stubborn one? Is it the old dog or you? 'Di ba? And
Mm.
I think being the HR, you shouldn't be close-minded. Ikaw nga dapat yung marunong mag-manage eh. Pero instead
Exactly.
nadadala ka, right? So I think
Exactly.
parang we should be very careful about labeling people. It
Mm.
is helpful when recruiting. It is helpful in making decisions, but you still have to leave a door open na maybe the old dog is not him, the old dog might be you. It doesn't mean kasi na pag fresh graduate ka, hindi ko yung old dog
Ako
eh, di
ano,
ba?
opinion ko dyan, it's a matter of learning strategy.
Perspective. Oo.
Learning strategy kasi, di ba, may seven intelligences nga eh.
Right.
Baka you're using an approach that is not compatible to the learning preference of that person, the
Makes
old
sense.
dog.
Mm-mm.
Baka ang
Mm-mm.
ginagamit mong technique is sabihin nating hindi gusto ng tao. You might
Mm.
explore other methods that will appeal to the person's learning style. So there's
Yes.
no such thing as old dog. Pero merong different ways, different approaches in training people, gamitin mo yung kiliti niya. Yun lang naman,
Yes.
compatibility lang yan.
And that's what NLP is very good at eh, kasi it doesn't change the dog, it changes you. Ulitin
Yun.
natin ha. It
Your
doesn't change the
approach.
old dog. It doesn't change the employee. It changes the way you
Ba-
you train yourself so that you can change the way you approach that other person. And
Exactly.
when you change the way you approach that other person, that old dog will follow you to the moon.
Di ba?
Kasi pagpunta niya sa ibang company, they don't get any respect. Pagdating sa'yo, iba ka. Once people like you, they will follow you. The problem is, are you really likable? And do you make yourself, how do you market yourself, 'di ba? Change the way you train others. They will follow you, pero dapat ikaw yung gagalaw, hindi sila. We
Baka
have a
puro
question.
lecture
Oo.
yung approach mo. Lecture. Baka gamitan mo ng TikTok.
Mm.
Pasayawin mo yung tao. Yun, learning. Body kinesthetic pa lang gusto niya eh. Kahit old dogs na, di
Body
ba?
kinesthetic.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Your prejudice, your bias of a person's learning style can
Right.
definitely create a block
A
between
barrier,
a
or a
barrier,
wall
a
between you and
wall on how
mm.
to penetrate his preferences in learning.
Uy,
Kaya tama
applicable to
ka.
sa married life, 'di ba? Minsan kasi 'pag
Oo
nakikipag-usap ka
naman.
sa significant other mo, parang feeling mo hindi siya nakikinig sa'yo. And tanong
Yung
diyan, nakikinig
approach
ka
mo
ba sa
eh.
kanya? 'Di ba? Minsan yung
Yun.
barrier na yan tayo din gumagawa, 'di ba?
Mm-mm.
we have we have a question from King Guerrero. How can you utilize the principles of neuro-linguistic programming to empower yourself with the confidence needed to overcome detrimental habits, influence others positively, and enhance your performance in the workplace, even in situations where you lack formal authority to express your ideas and vision?
Dami yan ah.
Dami yan, ano? Pero
Madami.
totoo
Loaded.
yan. Sir
Bibigyan
Loaded.
ko yan
Ken,
si King. Oh.
Ken,
Hi,
over to
King.
you.
Oh, sige.
Oh, si
Yeah,
yung ating guest.
maraming ano eh. Yan, thank you for highlighting the question para mas mabasa ko.
Para madali. Ayan.
Kasi siguro meron technique sa NLP. Siguro ito pag ganitong loaded question, marami kang kailangan i-process eh. Tama? So if chunk down muna natin, ano muna natin, paliitin muna natin. How do you eat an elephant, 'di ba? Bite one bite at
But
a time. Oh,
oh,
one bite at a time. So isa-isay mo natin. How do you NLP concepts to empower yourself with confidence? So cut ko muna doon. Kanina we talked about this. 'Di ba meron ako slide kanina ng meron lion, 'di ba? So how do you see confidence? Is confidence just a state for you, or is confidence parang a skill? For a lot of people that do training, they also see confidence as a skill. It can be learned, it can be accessed. Tama? So yung breakdown ko kanina, 'di ba? Check within yourself. When was the last time you were really confident? If you could list like three moments in time, map it, access it, see it clearly, see it vividly, feel it, go with the moment, 'di ba? Pakinggan mo kung ano yung mga naririnig mo that time, and then close your eyes and then access it. Okay? So as you get to like access, kung kaya mo mag-access ng confidence, i-amplify mo ngayon yung confidence na yun. Pwede rin yun. Okay, some do self-hypnosis. Minsan, naka-record na yung mga sinasabi nila. Sasabihin nila, okay, I want you
affirmation.
affirmation to this feeling of confidence. Tapos yung anchor naman, pwede rin yun. Kuwari, if you were to look at a person who's confident, I want to be like, the feeling that I have right now is a feeling like, kuwari, banggit ka ng speaker, Gary Vaynerchuk, the energy that he has is now with me. So ngayon, ini-empower mo ngayon yung sarili mo. Okay, para ka na si San Goku, di ba? Siya, yung energy, di ba? Halo, di ba? You're empowering
Oh,
yourself. Okay, lahat ng energy, all the energies of the world, the universe is now going inside me, and that's very nice. That's very nice. And I notice it with my posture. Ngayon, pag na-notice mo, inayos mo yung posture mo, tama, that is now justification that you have the energy. So again, yung mga concepts na to, you just repeated something, but it's not just repeating something, it's about you believing something.
exactly.
Right? So ngayon, working with that confidence needed to overcome detrimental habits. Teka lang, cut tayo dun. Ano ba yung detrimental habits? Make it clear, what are these detrimental habits that you have? So ngayon, i-work mo yan isa-isa. So ibig sabihin ba, when you have the specific confidence, you could easily overcome detrimental habits? Pwedeng yes, pwede rin no. Tama? So tingnan mo yan. Okay, next. Influence others positively. Pasok tayo dun sa authenticity. malaking bagay yung influence para sa akin it's subconscious also, right? It mostly para sa akin lang it mostly centers on how you feel inside eh. How you feel inside goes outside, inside to outside, right? So influence others positively tapos yung inside mo negative. Challenge, di ba? So feel it inside you. I'm not saying just positive. Something like a strong feeling of like confidence, a strong feeling of happiness, a strong feeling of willingness to help other people, a strong feeling of passion. Tamo, kung paano ako magsalita ngayon, di ba? Galing to dito. Right? Galing to dito sa loob. So influencing others positively, it's not just how I just energy out, di ba? It's also how I say things. How my body language right now, the eye movement, everything connects because my intention is to help others understand how this works. So to answer this, influence others positively, it could also boil down to intention. All right? Beyond dun sa feeling inside na gusto mong ilabas. Keynote lang okay? Work with not a negative feeling. Kasi negative going out, malaking chance negative din. People would notice it. Some people could notice that it's fake. Okay? We don't want that. We want the feeling that you want to go out to influence other people to become more authentic para mas madali lumabas. Enhance your performance in the workplace. Okay? So, enhance your performance in the workplace. Map mo yan. Ano ba yung mga key factors mo? Tingnan mo muna yung where you're at right now. Ano ba yung mga dapat i-enhance? May data ka dyan eh. Tama? Nasaan ka ba ngayon? And when you get to understand your data, tama, mas madali mo mamamap out kung ano yung na-enhance na. You have data eh. Meron kang tawag dito, basta may data ka to see kung na-enhance mo nga ba. You can calibrate kung hindi mo siya na-enhance. Okay? The next is even in situations where you lack formal authority. Now, where does authority come from? Madlawak yan. Paano mo nasabi na wala kang formal authority? Sila nagsabi, ikaw nagsabi. Dalawang kaso yun. So, if you get to believe na wala kang formal authority, malaki yung chance na wala ka talagang authority because you believe it yourself. Kung ibang tao nagsabi na, boss, wala ka kasing authority kaya hindi ka namin sinusunod. And then, get to understand, okay, what has to happen? You can ask them. So, ano ba yung kailangan mangyari para sumunod kayo? So that we could meet halfway and work with it. Right? So, again, dun sa sinabi mo, marami yung question, pero I hope my answers did justice dun sa question mo.
I think, diba, parang a lot of people, empower yourself with the confidence to overcome detrimental of influence. I think it's about making a choice, hindi ba? Kasi I think a lot, it's really hard to make a change. It's so easy just to go for status quo. Kaya ang daming tao, I'm sorry, kasama na ako doon, tumataba. Kasi it really takes discipline in order to make proper changes in your life. Pero may nagsasabi, di ba? You were talking about authenticity. But there's also the saying, like, fake it till you make it. How do you marry the two concepts together? Kasi with NLP minsan, 'di ba? Parang sasabihin na, "Oh, even if you're afraid, show them that you're not afraid." And then after that, parang but you have to be authentic. Alam mo 'yun, no?
Okay,
How do you balance
conflicting,
the
no?
two?
Conflicting.
Oh!
Okay. I'm a firm believer of like yung fake it till you make it because yung ine-explain ko nga with my approaches lalo na sa persuasion. Hindi ka naman hero within the day. There's a process for you to get there. So before you get to believe it, minsan how do we believe in ourselves ba? 'Di ba? Ako ang factors ko diyan is you get to work with it with yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina yung sa affirmation, how you talk to yourself. Tama, managing your self-talk. Pero pupunta tayo dun sa isang concept na galing sa labas. 'Di ba? Ang concept na sinasabi ko na galing sa labas is ganito. Affirmations from other people. So when people acknowledge you from the outside, it validates something inside of you. Tama?
Okay.
Tama? So ngayon, kung sinasabi natin yung fake it till you make it, you get to understand ano ba yung fini-fake mo. So, for example, if we were to map out what confidence is and you get to understand the body language that a confident person uses, the tonality that a confident person uses. Now, are you perceived as confident now?
Okay.
'Di ba? 'Di ba mo lumalaki yung chance? But you faked it. Tama? You faked it. You did not believe in it inside of you yet. So yung term ko doon is yet. And as you get to repeat and repeat and repeat that minomold mo na character, you then become it.
Mm.
Okay? So one
Mm-mm.
of the key concepts na tineterm ko dito na tinuturo ko sa mga kino-coach ko is what I call the avatar concept. So before I became Ken-ken, there's this confident guy, the professional guy, which I call Ken.
Mm.
So si Ken, pag papasok yan
Mhm.
ng kumpanya, wari, may training ako sa isang company, yan yung,
Mm.
hi, nice to meet you. Yeah, my name's Ken. Yun yung professional. Di ba? So ngayon, papasok ako ng kumpanya, hey, kamusta? Hi, nice to meet you. Si Ken-ken na kasi yun. So before I became this Ken-ken, I've accepted all my personalities that I've created, I've faked, di ba, through the years. I repeated and repeated processes to find what works for me. And
Mm.
now I could say fully that wala na akong kailangan i-pretend eh. Because
Mm.
the Ken-ken is already me combining all of my personalities from way back. And I'm happy
Mm.
to be who I am right now. So yun, I
Mm.
hope that answered the question. Yung fake it till you make it. Yung may process kasi siya. Yeah.
How about you, Sir Alan, with your 30 years of HR experience? How do
Mm.
you combine, exerting your authority and actually like being authentic? Yung, 'di ba, yung putting yourself being more confident but also being authentic.
Okay. I tell I tell stories, no? Stories based on experience, stories that people can relate with,
Mm.
stories that they can not only relate but believe in. Kasi when you talk about stories na hindi sila makarelate, parang fiction, doon na masisira yung diskarte mo eh. Halatang peke, no? But if your stories, if your, for example, I'm conducting leadership training,
Mm.
if I will just be using the textbook or the books that I've read without anchoring a real true to life stories that I can use as an example, peke eh, lutang.
Mm.
Pero
Mm.
pag ginamit mo yung actual experience mo sa iyong pagiging manager, pagiging supervisor, they can easily relate. Tapos very passionate ka nag-explain,
Mm.
Mm.
tapos nagtatawanan, natural kang
Mm.
lalabas yung joke mo
Mm.
because you are the real you when you're talking about that particular principle. Hindi
Mm.
lutang, hindi
Mm.
siya kinuha lang sa hangin o nabasa sa libro tapos blah blah halatang halatang peke authenticity is based on experience, based on actual experience that
Mm.
you convert into story that people can really say oo nga ganyan din ako, oo nga. So effortless. Authenticity becomes effortless if it is based on your real experience. Kaya
Mm.
Mm.
nabanggit mo kasi yung 30 anyos ko eh, na paghahalata. Yun. So hindi
Mm.
ko tinatago yan. Anyway, ito yun. Now, going back dun sa sinabi ni Ken, talagang very interesting yung topic, no? Kasi when you are believing what you're saying, and sinasabi mo nga you want to fake first para ma-master mo ito, actually hindi mo niloloko ang sarili mo at hindi mo rin niloloko ibang tao. You're practicing it eh.
Mm.
When you're practicing it over and over and over, papasok yan sa brain mo, magki-create siya ng mga new connections, neuroplasticity. It becomes you because you
Mm.
have already mastered something that you've been practicing, faking as they call it, until it
Mm.
becomes your second nature. Yun yung
Yan.
Mm.
explanation ko dun sa fake it till you make it eh. Inulit
Mm.
mo ng inulit, in-affirm mo ng in-affirm, sinabi mo na sinabi sa sarili mo, bago ka matulog, pagising mo, I am, paulit-ulit yung mga I am successful, I am a money magnet, I have a magnet, I have a charismatic personality. Paulit-ulit-ulit, binivisualize mo, sinusulat mo, sinasabi mo sa sarili mo until your mind believes it and your brain creates those connections, neurons that will really create that behavior and personality in you. it will become you. You already made it a reality. So science siya, hindi siya basta-bastang kasabihan lang eh. That's how
Uh-uh.
I explain that the term fake it till you make it.
You know, like what for me is the largest destroyer of souls? Alam mo ano, it's actually the insecurity that we harbor about ourselves. Kasi that insecurity is something that lives inside you and is something that you really believe in. But that opinion is not shared by anybody but yourself.
Mm.
Meaning to say, a lot of us have a tendency to self sabotage because we
Mm.
always think the worst of ourselves. That's the
Mm.
reason why when we talk to friends or spouses or parang feeling natin parang bakit pangit ako? Bakit di ako magaling? Bakit? But you know what? Nobody shares that opinion but you. And we tend to believe it so much. I don't know
Yun.
kasi is it because like we're fishing for compliments? We want other people to say, alam mo, hindi ka naman talaga pangit eh. Or alam mo, magaling ka naman talaga dyan eh. Alam mo yung ganon? Parang gusto nating binabola pa tayo. Pero that type of negativity and insecurity stems from siguro our childhood or our experiences, our own beliefs. And that's a very dangerous thing. Because if you cannot even be confident with who you are, it's so hard to navigate towards life kasi papasok ka ng isang kwarto, feeling mo faker ka. Feeling mo hindi ka authentic. Feeling mo pag hindi ka pa pumapasok, feeling mo people won't like you. And dyan pumapasok yung kaba. 'Di ba? Parang people don't even know you. They don't even have an opinion of you. Pero ikaw takot na takot ka kasi it's because of that insecurity. And I think like NLP helps you guide you through removing that type of insecurity that's so embedded inside you. Because if you have that type of mindset and insecurity, yung sinasabi ni King kanina, yung how to have that confidence to overcome your habits, how to influence other people positively, how to enhance your performance in the workplace without that type of position. It has nothing, it's nothing if you don't if you are insecure with your own self. And many people are very insecure. Honestly, if you're really being honest, so many of us have insecurities. And for me, the only way you can remove that insecurity is number 1, actually have a mindset change that you're enough. And that requires work and effort sometimes, 'di ba? Number 2 for me, if you're just very busy, if you're very purposeful, if you have a purpose and then you're moving towards that purpose and you're so busy, you won't have time to be insecure kasi wala kang time. I think a lot of people are very insecure if they have a lot of time in their hands. Ano gusto ba nila sa akin? Kung marami kang oras, marami kang iniisip. Yung iniisip mo kung saan ka nang dinadala, minsan hindi maganda. Yan. So, and I think that's
Mm.
one of the reasons why NLP helps
Oh,
because people are imperfect, but ganging with people, imperfect people who are trying to remove their imperfections help you change the way you think and change the way you move towards life.
what's
'Diba?
that term, Sir Ken? Yung tuloy-tuloy yung pattern of negativity tapos you break it by
Pattern
using
interrupt or state interrupt.
yun.
Yan.
Ito,
Pattern
ginagamit kong
interrupt.
pattern interruption.
Yan, ang
No?
saya niyan. Yung tumutunog yan, may sumasayaw.
Pag nagnenega na ako,
I-play
papakinggan,
mo.
Sir,
makipag-usap ako rito,
mm-mm.
tanggal yung mental health issue.
Sir Ken,
Very
when's
Ayan.
your
effective.
next meetup? I
Ah,
mean, if you're gonna organize, kasi
puno na.
baka it's sayang,
Puno na.
dagdagan mo!
Puno na.
Dagdagan mo!
Ano, NLP Cafe kasi is done once a month. And then, syempre, sa
Mm,
coffee shop lang kami. So, pag
mm.
sobrang dami ng tao, like, mga previous
How
meetups namin
many?
mula,
How many yung dami? Sige
nililimit
nga.
ko lang yung 15. Nililimit ko lang. So, pagkalabas ng forms niyan, I usually post the forms 1 month before. So, ibig sabihin, nag-post ako ng ngayong October, early October, para dun sa November.
Oh.
Mm.
Pagka-post ko, mga less than 1 hour, 2 hours, wala na, puno na, wala na, puno na siya. So, pwede naman, siguro, I'll see kung meron mga mababait yung loob dyan na mag-offer ng spaces. But ngayon, dahil I'm connected with my mentor, we just do it as advocacy. So, free siya. We
Mm.
just do it on our free time at saka sa south lang, sa Alabang. Sa Alabang kami para malapit
Kailangan
lang
sa
sa amin.
North. Oh.
I'll see what I could do siguro in the next months. I'm planning with some friends na yung mga dati kong kasama sa NLP. We're planning to do a North meetup naman din ulit. So we're looking for that naman. Hi Kirk, kumusta?
Yeah,
Hi.
Kirk is saying watching from
What's up?
Mindanao.
What's up? Master ng
Daga
SEO yan.
Ikalahis watching from Paranaque. O yan, di ba South na
Ayan,
yan eh, oh.
solid. I just wanna say something based on sa sinabi mo kasi you were talking about insecurity. Tama? Pero siguro I do think tama ka naman eh. Marami nakaka-relate dito, right? So siguro yung isang question lang pambasag natin like what Alan said, a pattern interrupt. When was the first time you've actually felt this? Right? Because if you get to understand and if you listen to this episode, ang dami natin pinag-usapan dito, di ba? Ang dami.
Saya eh.
If you listen to this episode, tingnan mo muna, you installed it. And you have the power to uninstall it. So my question again, when was the first time you've actually felt this feeling? And if that instance did not happen, would you still be feeling the same right now? Boom. And what could make you think differently? So if you fully believe that you are blah, 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 kung ano man yan, question natin sa'yo is, what would make you think differently? Right? So, ako yun. I hope that insight or that statement, pwede mo i-replay kung di mo naman masyado naintindihan. Replay mo lang yung episode na to. And I do hope that everyone who listened got value from this because I really poured my heart out to share itong mga information na to. Yeah.
We're almost at the end of the show. 5:30 na, bilis ng oras. Any last words? From you first, Ken-ken, then Sir
Sige.
Alan, then me.
Last words ko beyond dito sa upcoming persuasion workshop. Ayan, post naman yung link dito. Ayan, yung Facebook link, Tina. I think I messaged you. I'd still center with sa Facebook, I sent you the Facebook event. Ayan.
Okay.
Ang last message ko sa mga tao that are like struggling right now, let's start with again what Alan said, working with self-talk, working with the words that you get to repeat to yourself. Yung I love saying my quote, ito yung sabi ko, ang dami mo ng kalaban sa mundo ngayon eh. Like minsan may family mo pa, minsan work, minsan yung environment mo. Tapos at the end of the day, pati sarili mo, kalaban mo pa rin. Diba? I mean, you have control. You what we are talking about here is more understanding that you have control over yourself. And I'm not saying control the thoughts. I'm saying manage the thoughts. Because before it becomes an emotion, it's a thought. Right? So if you could manage the thoughts, malaking chance na hindi tumutuloy ang emotion. Wala kaming sinasabi na hindi mo dapat nararamdaman tong malungkot o kung ano man. Wala kaming sinasabing ganon. Ang sinasabi lang namin is, daanan mo lang. Baka naman kasi buong araw sinasabi mo, oh, galit ako dito. You are now focusing everything dun sa sinasabi mong galit ako dito. When you could be doing other things maliban dun sa galit mo dun sa tao mo. It's a waste of time. Right? So, yun lang. Manage your thoughts and then get to work with your emotions. And again, yun nga, manage your self-talk and change your environment so that mas dumadali yung affirmation. If you need validation, there are people that are willing to 100% believe in you and support you. Yun yung maganda. So yeah, that's me, Ken-ken Somera. And thank you, Alan, Tina, Darwin, and everyone that nandito sa Philippine HR group always been supporting this group. Maraming salamat. So yun yung message ko.
Yeah.
Sir Alan?
Yun. Ako, simple lang eh. Dahil tama nga that you manage your thoughts. Anong technique? Ang pinakamabilis, pinaka-accessible na technique that even right now they can already use. Mindfulness. Mindfulness. And because of matagal na kasi akong practitioner ng iba't ibang forms of meditation, yung karamihan ng meditation, you need to have a quiet place, tapos mag-concentrate. Maganda rin yun eh. Pero ang pinakamabilis, dahil maingay ang mundo, mindfulness. It's basically accepting everything as is, Wala
Mm.
kang gagawin kundi pakinggan ang nangyayari sa labas at tanggapin sila as is.
Mm.
Tapos, walang judgment. Then, unti-unti focus on yourself. And yung self-talk na sinasabi ni Ken kanina, yung self-affirmation, mas magiging malalim. Kasi
Mm.
unti-unti yung focus mo from the outside to the inner world eh. Once you're inside yourself, the inner world, that's the time that you start doing the self-programming, self-affirmation, at talking to yourself as if you're talking to your own best friend. Dahil pag ginawa mo yon, unti-unting gumaganda ang takbo ng relationship mo sa sarili mo. You become your own best friend. You forgive yourself. Importante sa lahat. Forgive yourself. Do not judge yourself. And then, pag naging okay na kayo ng sarili mo, nararamdaman mo, kaya mo na rin patawarin ang mga tao sa paligid mo, wala ka ng kaaway. Peace of mind. Ang sarap ng
Mm.
buhay. And masyado magaang na ang dating. Mental health is never an issue when you practice meditation. Start with mindfulness, then palalimin mo na eventually. And a lot of learning materials are available in YouTube. YouTube pa lang, ang dami mo kuha eh. And attend learning sessions, how to meditate. Combine mo yung NLP and meditation, nako, lalabas yan. Baka Superman malabas mo yan eh. Because very resilient and agile ang magiging dating mo as a person. That's my take.
Mm. Sa akin, NLP, Neuro-linguistic programming is something that I learned through Ken-ken Somera and his friends. And we've had a few seminars already about it. And the more I listen to it, the more I can relate to how NLP can be impactful and to provide you with strategies on managing employees and operations. So many different strategies talaga. So yung sinabi lang ni Coach Ken ngayon is just the tip of the iceberg. If you really listen to it, it's like undergoing a psychology with practical applications course that you can use every day with with yourself, the people you interact with, your boss, and the entire community. I think changing the way I think in order for you to improve your life, you first have to improve yourself. And to improve yourself, you have to improve your mindset. Just changing your perspective on how you view a situation extremely changes the way you act and the outcome. I give an example, for example, of you not being happy with your job. You're not happy because you think that your boss is unappreciative. You're not happy because you think that your colleagues are isolating you. Hindi ka na iniimbita sa lunch kaya nagtatampo ka. You're not happy because parang biglang umulan, ang hirap mag-commute. Mas maganda dati kasi work from home ka. And I think like those things are valid, right? Your opinion is valid, but it's also how you perceive your work, which moves you towards a direction na you've made the work so unbearable in your head that you have no other options but to quit that job. Kasi you can't change your boss, you can't change your colleagues, you can't change your office location. The only thing you can do is change yourself. E sa sobrang asar mo sa situation mo, sometimes your emotions lead you to very drastic decisions. Magre-resign ka, hindi ka pa ready. Kasi napikon ka with something that your boss said. And I think if we only change the way we viewed the situation, that situation is still salvageable. Because it's really hard to be popular and to be promoted at a work where you hate your boss and everybody else. Alam mo yan? Sometimes we only see na galit yung boss sa atin. We don't see na paano tayo magsimangot sa sitwasyon natin, paano tayo sumagot sa kapwa colleagues natin, paano pagpasok lang natin, pagbaba lang natin ng bag, nagdadabog na tayo. Alam mo yon? And these sort of things affect everybody else at work. To the point na we don't know, we always blame them. We don't see that sometimes the problem also comes from us. And I think that's something that NLP teaches us, That it's not always about the other person. Sometimes it's about you. Sometimes it is you who need to change. And if you change, your situation will also change, right? If you want to persuade, it's not that you have to change the person you're talking to, eh. You have to change you and how you the words that you use to talk to that other person, to make that other person want to do what we want. Right? If you think about it that way, medyo complicated siya. Mag-rewind na lang kayo dun sa session. Pero I think the main purpose of NLP is not just changing the other person. It's about changing you and how you view yourself and how you view outside the self. And when you do that, then you're so powerful. You will have a better love life. You will have a better family life. Your children will love you more. Your colleagues will like you more. You will be a more likable person because you are a more tolerable person than you were before. Sometimes we never know that the problem is us because we always tend to blame other people. That's why, Ken, please post to us when is your next meetup. Sa mga singles out there, this is one of the best sessions that you can have. And if it's not of Ken, the people that you meet at NLP are really interesting people. Really, really interesting people. Kasi for them, it's never just about them. They recognize their own flaws and they're working at their flaws, and
Mm.
they will also help you work at your flaws and insecurities. Really, like, if you're gonna need adult friends, wag na kayo maghanap sa Tinder. Dito na kayo maghanap sa NLP session ni Ken.
Tulungan
Diba?
lang, yun na yung concept, tulungan lang. Ang mindset lang natin,
That's
even
true,
inside the
yeah.
group naman, every group that we
No
go into,
judgments, diba?
uh, always add value to other people. I mean, if
Mm.
you're
Yan.
coming in with that concept, I mean, ang saya. If everyone comes in with that concept, everyone just, like, flourishes, di ba?
Mm,
So, yeah,
mm,
yeah, yeah.
mm.
Mm.
Salamat,
Okay.
salamat.
Mm-mm,
All right.
mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay. So with that, thank you so much for all watching the HR Cafe, Usapang Trabaho at Iba pa. It is such a great pleasure to have Coach Ken-ken Somera of NLP to be here and share his knowledge today. And again, we invite you for next week to watch another fruitful session of the HR Cafe, Usapang Trabaho at Iba pa, for more learning and motivation and inspiration throughout for you to be for you throughout the week. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
All right. So